do the computer work that we require, and it causes them to not succeed.
They're all MDs working with true living stem cells harvested from your own fat or bone marrow, then strategically delivered with guided injection. Only MDs deliver the injection. More experience.
It's a long story, but I was talking to a guy that owns a company 10 times bigger than mine, and he says your average salesperson can't sell more than $700,000 a year in flooring. And in order for me to grow, I need to where I want to be. I need 6 salespeople, and I have 3. Right?
Yeah. So you don't want a salesperson to do more than that. You don't ever want to be dependent on a salesperson for both of your trade. The more you spread it out, the better.
Right, because if somebody's down, someone's out.
Or if someone leaves.
Right.
Or gets the idea they want to do their own thing.
Yeah.
It's here in town, here with this, with media sales, if you have a superstar, sometimes you can't help it, they're just superstars.
Yeah.
They are afraid of that.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. I'm your consumer advocate this hour. Brought to you by Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. What do we do as consumer advocates here? The Troubleshooter Network. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. That's what they call me for the last 38 years in Denver. Yes, and 32 of those years in TV and radio, and then of course radio. This show is so popular. People tell people about it. You got to hear this, you got to hear this. But mostly they call when they have a problem. I actually have most people calling that haven't listened to the show before calling and then listen afterwards. The people that listen hardly ever have a problem. And people, I can't stress enough, our referral list. It's the only one called referrallist.com. In fact, it's my trademark, referrallist.com. Please understand, we police these people, we continually monitor these people, we background check these people, we go to bat for you with these people. In fact, we'll go to bat for you with anybody. Most of the time we're fixing problems from other lists. But give us a call if you have any problems, questions, or complaints. Lines are wide open, which is a rarity today. So all you have to do is call 303-713-TALK. Let me give you an example. Did someone lie to you, cheat you, rip you off? You're thinking, I can't do anything about it. You know, so many times the amount of money is such that you don't know what to do. You call the police, they don't care. They truly don't care. They don't know what to do. And you call the district attorney. You call the district attorney, and they say, well, you know, that's a civil matter. They love calling things civil matters, but they're not always civil matters. We have Consumer Protection Acts. We have also the Contractors Trust Act. We have a lot of laws that should be enforced. And I urge you to call us, and if nothing else, you warn us about people. And then we put the worst of the worst at sleazbrigade.com. And I'm bringing up sleazbrigade.com because we have some new members up there that you must take heed. Dave Anders, out and out, Anders Construction, out and out, ripped off a woman for $68,000. Now he's hiring an attorney. You see, they go into the death spiral. They hire an attorney because we get involved. They think at first it's just going to go away. They don't understand it's not going to go away. He did not do $68,000 worth of work. He simply stopped showing up. Now he's blaming the consumer, saying the addition could not hold up on the existing foundation, and she had to agree to more foundation work. That may be true. Let's say it is, for argument's sake. If you can't proceed with the contract, you don't just say, well, the foundation won't support it, I can't do the home improvement, goodbye, and keep the money. That's unjust enrichment. You can't do it. The Contractors Trust Act says when you take money for a job, you must hold it in trust for that job. If you take a down payment of 10 grand for a job, and then you go to another job, and that job, they want you to start work, and you use that 10 grand, you are technically breaking the law. Now, you have civil remedies and criminal remedies. It is something people do not realize. But try calling a district attorney or a police officer. That's where we get involved. Right now, we're getting the people in Jeffco, the good people at the DA, to take a look at these cases. for criminal prosecution. In the same county, Dusty Lobsinger took 15 grand and did nothing. Watch out for these people. Now, today we have Buddy Mitchell in the house with SimplyFloorsInc.com. SimplyFloorsInc.com. And speaking of home improvements, you know, Ideal Home Loans, they say there are so much equity right now you can tap, but they recommend when you tap your equity, do not tap your equity for short-term things unless you're going to pay it off short-term. Here's what I mean. If you need appliances, or if you want to go on vacation, it's all right to have a line of credit, a second, or refi, but don't take out that for 30 years. Get a loan at Ideal Home Loans, but then pay off that portion quicker. There's nothing wrong with using equity, but don't finance an appliance for 30 years or a vacation or a car for 30 years. And speaking of term, Ideal Home Loans they have custom terms. You can pick 5 years, 10 years, 8 years, 22 years, whatever. Okay, 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. They have the interest rate guarantee as well. 303-867-7000. Don't take that lightly either. These are good people. Idealhomeloans.com. Buddy Mitchell is a businessman. And Buddy, we are having an epidemic of people taking money and disappearing, or doing little and no work and disappearing. I don't know how they sleep at night. Honest to God, I don't.
I don't either.
I mean, really.
That's been I've been listening to you for almost 30 years, and I hear that all the time, and it just makes me wonder,
how did they do it?
I mean, there's people out there that rip off all sorts of people, and
but I don't know. I really, honest to God, don't understand when you take some money and then don't do the work, how you don't feel bad about it. Anyway, Kevin's got a question about SEO. And listen, SEO is another big fad, and it's a good one. However, I want to say in general for everyone listening, search engine optimization simply helps you in the search engine. It does not define your business. So many people do not understand that just being in a search engine doesn't get you the close, and doesn't get you the loyalty, and doesn't necessarily get you the job. People have to hear about you and know you a little bit, then see you on SEO. That's how it works perfectly. What did you want to know, Kevin, about SEO?
Yeah, Tom, thanks. Great show.
Thank you.
So, I looked on your referral list, you
yes.
know, and I've seen them guys come up, and I've heard them on this show before. I listen to you all the time.
Yes.
And then I have a plumbing company where, you know, obviously we're thinking of getting away from the yellow pages. It seems to be, you know, when you Google.
No, you better get away from the yellow pages. Buddy's laughing. Yeah. The yellow pages. What's that? I mean, I know what you mean. Yeah. So what about it, bro?
Know.
What can we do for you?
So when I call them, how does that work? Do they help with us lining up a deal so when people Google our plumbing company, it pops up?
Yeah. Here's what SEO companies do. If they do it the right way, they optimize your site first. And
okay.
then they do the tricks. Now, you have 3 kinds of optimization. You have site optimization, and Google loves to be the best search engine. And believe it or not, now I've been on conference calls with Google's help desk where they're talking to SEO companies. Google doesn't like, here's what Google doesn't like. If you're looking for home improvements and you're looking for toilets, they don't want you to get a company that does windows only. They want you to find a company that does toilets. And what most people try to do, the bad SEO companies, they try to get you found, but they don't necessarily get you business because you're not in where you should be. You know, just getting you found doesn't get you business. And here's the truth about SEO. The true great SEO companies organize your site. Your website speaks a language, and it must speak to Google in order to make Google happy. In fact, if Google finds that your site is disorganized, what I mean by that is you don't clearly specify service areas or services or product lines or specifically what you do, if you tell too general of a story in your introduction, if you don't have content that is congruent to what you do, it will literally penalize you because it doesn't want you you to show up and disappoint a customer. Google considers people who search their customers. They want to keep their customers happy. They would love to optimize your site. They want you to have an optimized site. They want you to show up. What they don't want is if someone is looking for a Nissan, they do not want a Ford dealer showing up. They don't, because it's not what the customer is looking for. And bad SEO companies try to put you in other categories that you truly don't service in order to get you found. But they penalize you for that, and it doesn't get you business. And you'll go down over the long run. Those what I call trickery companies that promise to get you found, they use trickery, and it works for a short time, but over the long run, it does not help you. And so if you wanted to do a site, you must organize it. That's the very first thing a good SEO company does. In fact, they may want to rewrite your site because you want it to communicate both on the front end and on the back end to Google. The second thing you want after a site organization, you want content, and the content should be congruent and change. So if you have good, relevant content, if you're in the flooring business, Buddy could say how hardwood should be installed properly, or how installation of carpeting helps longevity. What does padding do for carpeting? These are relevant subjects. The other thing, after organization and content, then what you want is you want to have the marketing, digital marketing for your business. You pay for either AdWords, pay-per-clicks, or you pay for relevant digital marketing. And so you have organization of the site, you have a paid digital campaign, and then the third prong is what I call the algorithms. That is where they go to the back end and they add no-follow tags and certain code to your site that Google sees, and that other sites, when they try to tag you, they won't take away your authority. And it's too hard to explain, but it's in the coding. So you want people on the coding level, you want people on the site organization level, and you want people on the digital marketing level. Now, Altitude, you mentioned, you found on my referral list. You know, they do a good job. They're good people. Sean Hakes has been around forever. But there's another good firm. They're not. I think they're on my referral list. Yeah, they should be. Whatchamacallit? I say whatchamacallit. Native Rank. Great people. Great people. And I hope you found Native Rank on the referral list. They will actually redo your site as part of their deal, and they charge a monthly fee. Now, unfortunately, over the years, even on our site, we have had fly-by-nights. Not cheaters, just people that wanted to go into the business, they did a good job, and then they drop out. And and so what you want, I would say Altitude, you won't go wrong, and Native Rank is probably a little better, only because, not because Sean isn't smart, he's great, because they're bigger and they have more organization for specific businesses.
Okay, so one thing, and this, it might sound, you know, crazy, but you hear all these stories. Do they, when they come in to help us manage or redo it, they don't own my site, right? I just pay them a maintenance. Well, I mean, I still have control, and
that's what you make sure of. Some of them do take control of your URLs and stuff, and they hold you hostage. Right. So hold on, I have to take a break. If you have specific questions, we'll do a lightning round, because I have to get to other calls. Buddy, did you have a comment?
No, I spend a lot of money on SEO and pay-per-click, and it's by far the best, you know, almost the best advertising for your buck that you can get. It is taken over. It is the yellow pages of 20 years
right,
ago,
digital marketing. If you do it, and then social marketing, which is an addition, you go specifically to Facebook and things. Kevin, you know, if you have specific questions, I'll give it to you, and we'll talk to you. Fix It 24/7. There's 10 more. We'll clean and adjust and tweak your furnace for $39. No tricks. It's $39, and they will literally take that furnace apart to the extent they can, clean every component, and make it hum like new. It's almost like a refurbishing of your furnace. You're going to be amazed at what they put in there. And if they find something wrong, no, they're not there for high pressure sales, but if they find something wrong, they're going to advise you. There is never an obligation to buy anything. But for $39, you will have a beautiful running furnace and know the exact condition of that furnace before they leave. 720-526-3939. However, we can only do 10 at a time because it is such a spectacular deal. It takes a couple hours of tech time, and it's really a loss leader. They want to be your company for the future, so it's $39. The next 10 callers at 720-526-3939. And I urge you to call me with results.
This report is...
Stephen Hawkins died.
Yeah.
76.
Stephen Hawkins,
I don't know. I can't believe
the man, what he accomplished in his life is so amazing to me. It's so amazing with his disability.
Oh.
But I'm going to say something that's not politically correct. His wisdom was overrated. And I think it was because of how much he's accomplished with what he had. His actual wisdom, I'm into physics, and I'm into it. And his theories are not necessarily, I think, mind-blowing.
Well, there's a difference between wisdom and intelligence.
Oh, the fucking guy was intelligent over the roof.
Yeah.
I mean, and through the woods. I mean, there's no one smarter than this man. But I don't think he had an intuition, a wisdom. And see, here's what happens. When we revere people because of what they've overcome, and we revere people because of a certain skill, we tend to let that spill over into areas and give them credit where really they're not that fancy. You understand? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
It spilled over credit. Because he's overcome ALS, he really did. I mean, as far as, you're supposed to live 3 to 5 years.
Right.
The man overcame it. I mean, now, obviously, he was crippled, but look what he did. Doctorates. The guy was unbelievable. But then it spills over, and he starts talking about the origin of the universe and philosophical stuff. Well, I don't necessarily give someone credence in all areas because I like him in a certain area.
Right. Well, it's like anything. You're really good at this, and so you must be good at everything. You know, just think of artists. When
celebrities start talking about social issues, who the fuck cares? I mean,
right.
I mean, there are some, I think,
Great example.
I think there are some that are wiser than others. But they're not sages. I mean, I love Oprah Winfrey. She does so much philanthropic work. She has nothing but love in her heart. She really does. That woman is full of love. But I don't think she's a sage. Because, but she deserves all the kudos she can get.
Right.
She's a wonderful.
She's good at what she does.
Oh, she's a wonderful woman. One of the best interview I've ever seen in my life. She pulls people out. But I don't necessarily think then when she speaks about something else, she should be given the same credence. But we tend to do that. We tend to give people credit where credit is not due because we love them in one area. And that especially happens with actors and singers and that kind of thing.
Especially if they have to overcome something.
And we do that with rich people. Fucking, I got to tell you something. Warren Buffett, I mean, have you ever talked to him? And the Warren Buffett, there's nothing special. I mean, the man is a genius, but a lot of that has to do with now. The guy can make a market by saying, I'm going to do this, and it's self-fulfilling. I mean, if he says this is a good buy, after he buys it, it goes up. I mean, the man increases his wealth with a sentence. He can ruin
because of what he does when he was younger.
If he sells off a stock, he can ruin a company.
But at least he doesn't do like George Soros does. George Soros goes out there to ruin people.
No, I think Warren Buffett is honest and smart, but I don't necessarily think he's smart in everything.
Right.
Remember Dr. Evil in that movie? Dr. Evil, what was that movie?
James Bond.
But we tend to look at wealth.
Sounds like a James Bond.
We tend to look at wealth as a qualifier for everything. Like Trump, one of his main characteristics was his wealth.
Right.
But the fucking guy has a personality of a schoolyard bully. I mean, he really does.
I can't argue there.
I think on the other end, I've had.
Now, Mark would say it's on purpose. That's how he rules. All that shit. And I don't.
I look at Trump as my hope for Trump was that his ego would make him do what's right.
Yes.
Because I figured someone as wealthy as him wanted to be loved, and if he wants to be loved, then he would do things to make people love him, because he doesn't have anything else to accomplish. He's 70-some years old, and wealthier than shit. So
do you realize he could have people eating out of his hand if he wanted to? I mean, he could just still do what
I've also heard over and over that his IQ is through the roof.
I don't know. I don't know. For someone's IQ, his
I'm not
IQ
talking
is
anything about his politics.
But he's dumb as a box of rocks. Also.
Oh, personality.
There's gardeners with
high
Mensa IQs.
Yeah.
What's that?
There's gardeners with Mensa IQs.
Well,
IQ is really,
yeah,
like you say, you can have a
emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Century RV. If you want an RV, go to Century. That's where I would go first. Century RV. Just north of 6th Avenue, they have a new 32,000 square foot indoor place. Okay, it's right next to Woodley's between Kipling and Sims, north of 6th Avenue. They also have a place on the 119 turnoff to Longmont, north of the city on I-25. They have, one of the great things I talk about, they have the largest selection of used RVs, but the main deal that I like, they have service facilities. People, you don't know where to get RV service. You can't just go to a regular garage. They can do both the chassis and the home itself. So you got CenturyRV.com. Check them out. They're good people. So I want to move on and take all of your calls. I want to do it quickly. I just need to get to some specific questions now. I try to make the calls general. He talked about SEO, so I wanted to give some basics. But Kevin, do you have specific questions, and then I'll move on, please?
Yeah, sure, Tom. So, yeah, that's why I'm going to your referral list, because I'm just a little concerned. We actually have a pretty big plumbing company here, and I want to make sure I don't lose control of
you will never go wrong with Altitude or Native Rank ever.
Okay.
You won't go wrong.
Okay. All right, we will call them.
All right, and that's what I feel. Okay, 303-713-8255. Miles, hi. What's happening, Miles?
I've got a problem with my car. I purchased a extended warranty for my vehicle.
Was this on a new car or a used?
Well, this is a new car, but it's a 2014 Ford Focus.
But was it, when you bought it new, did you buy it new?
No, I bought it used.
Okay, so the warranty, is it from the new warranty, or is it one you bought?
It's one I purchased.
After you bought it used and bought a used car warranty?
Yes.
Okay, what can I do for you?
Well, what happened is I had a problem with my vehicle, and the people don't want to,
Well, that's par for the course. Listen, I never recommend, never recommend used car extended warranties. Never.
Right. Because
there are too many outs. And I give them all the time, and those listening probably can read my mind. It's the when the cumulative total of repairs equals the market value of the car, you have no more coverage. That's the biggest one, because your car goes down every year and prices go up. The other thing is that there are usually deductions for each event. Then there's a big exclusion. Listen to this, previous conditions, normal wear and tear, and owner abuse are not covered. Do you realize on a used car, the only thing covered are manufacturer's defects? When will a manufacturer's defect manifest? Usually within the first 2 or 3 years. So when you buy an extended warranty on a used car, you're really buying a lot of nothing. So, and you just found that out. What's wrong with your car?
Well, I have a problem with the clutch.
And why will they not cover it? I don't need to know the details. Your clutch is out or your clutch is acting up. Why won't they cover it?
They won't cover it because they said that it's an ongoing
it's maintenance
problem. They said that it's I told them.
What did they say, Miles? You haven't told me. Miles, you haven't told me what they said. They're either going to say it's previous wear and tear, or previous condition, normal wear and tear, or maintenance. What are they saying?
Let me look it up.
Because you're not going to get it covered.
Exactly what it was is they referred to
what?
Let's see here.
How many miles on it, Miles?
What it is they refer to previous
wear and tear.
Wear and tear.
That's right. Yeah, just told you that.
And I'm telling them that, well, you know, if that's the case.
If that's the case, what did you buy? That's right. You bought nothing. That's
exactly.
right. That's right. So everyone listening, he bought nothing. Just like buying the Home Smart Warranty with Excel, and I'll explain that too because we have a call coming up on that, and they say I'm being unfair to them, but I'll explain my side. You guys decide if I'm unfair. But Miles, on this particular thing, you said you had 2 problems. What's the second one?
Well, the second one is, well, the car, okay, we can't do anything about that. But the second one is I was out one night shooting pool.
Yeah. And
I sat down in a chair, and the chair collapsed. And
were you drinking? Were you drunk? And I'm just asking that because okay.
No, I wasn't drunk.
Okay, if the chair collapsed, were you injured?
Yes, I was.
Okay, how badly?
Well, a little bit on my back, but mainly I got cut. They had a screw in the chair, which...
Did you have doctor bills?
No, I didn't even go to the doctor.
Okay, then you have nothing.
To go to the doctor to have something.
Yeah, you have to have a medical bill, at least a penny, at least $1. You have nothing. Now, Miles, here's what you can do. And I want everyone to know this when it comes to personal injury. Most attorneys don't want a personal injury case unless it's $50,000 or more in damages, okay? Now, what do you do if you don't have $50,000? This is a good question, and actually, it's something that people need to know. First and foremost, you need to go after them if you, like, for discomfort and stuff, if you had, like, to buy, you know, if you had to go and get stitches or something, but it doesn't rise to the level of a personal injury suit. You can still do small claims, and you can sue the bar owner and the bar or whatever for that, and then let a judge decide. But there has to be losses. You can't sue for pain and suffering in small claims court. There is no venue. It's only for money. So if you spent money as a result, you could sue there. If you have, if you're just pissed off because you're hurt, and I don't blame you. You're hurt, and I had something spill on my hand one time at a paint store. They didn't have the lid on this acid, and it burned my hand. I didn't have really doctor bills or anything, and there's really nothing I could do legally, but I said, guys, you know, first of all, look what you did. You know, you had this thing up, and it was open. You know, obviously somebody had opened it, and they said, here's a gift certificate. In other words, you negotiate something. I didn't threaten them, but Miles, I hate to tell you that you don't probably have much on this, but you should go to them and see if they will give you something. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. People don't like hearing that. They don't like hearing it because for some reason, we have gotten an opinion in this country that when we get hurt, we should be paid. And what we don't and especially on what could have happened. Do you know we had an automobile shop one time that left out a crucial part of an axle, and the details are hazy, but I remember it could have been catastrophic, and she had her child in the car, and she came to an abrupt stop. The axle gave out. After she came to an abrupt stop, it was because at an intersection, it was yellow turning red. She comes to an abrupt stop, the axle gives out. She finds out from the tow truck driver, lady, you could have been killed, your baby would have been maimed. She was so pissed off, she was thinking of what could have happened, not what did happen. What did happen? Nothing. Not one injury, nothing. It was a repair that went awry. And that's what you get reimbursed for. But she didn't want to. But that could have killed me and my baby. So what? I don't mean so what. I meant it didn't, thank God. It didn't. That's where you get a lot of problems. 303-713-8255. Absolute radon safety. I love this place mainly because, not because they're trying to hype up, you know, the dangers of radon. That's up to you to decide. But so many people are really concerned about radon. If you are buying a home or you're selling a home and radon becomes an issue, absolute radon safety can mitigate most cases 80 to 90, 95% of them for $899. So you see, it puts a price tag on it. So when somebody comes up and says, "Oh, this house, you got to give us thousands off," you say, "Listen, this company will mitigate for $899." And in some rare cases, it's more than that, but not much more. A few $100 more. So call Absolute Radon Safety to mitigate. And if you want to test, they have testing starting at just $20. Absolute Radon Safety for absolute peace of mind. 303-880-0682. 880-0682.
This is Denver's Top.
Stepdaughter, a couple days later, I said, "You know, you should work for that guy. I thought she'd be a great match." We'll see. We'll see. I mean, don't put anything in what I say, but I'll just sure you know. It is. I know. You know, if she's good at, she's either has it or doesn't. That's right. I know. I'm saying. I don't know the real specifics of what you need, but I think she might be at least a candidate. So
tell her to call and come in for an interview.
Will she have access to Clintopedia?
Yeah.
Hey, Tom was going to ask you that medical superglue.
Yeah.
Remember you were asking him?
That's what they use. That's what the Hair Club for Men uses.
And they use it a lot.
Really? That's the hair. Really?
You know the Hair Club for Men. The Hair Club for Men. When I was in my early 30s and I was bald. I mean, I'm like 28. I was bald. And so you hear the Hair Club for Men, the Hair Club for Men. So I went in and sat down to talk to them because I was self-conscious about being bald at that time. And that's what they do. They super glue. They take medical surgical glue and they glue a hairpiece on your head. And when they're done, you could have it on right now and nobody would know it. It's that. I mean, I don't know why they kid about Trump or whoever. I don't know why people don't do it. Because I
liked it? You think Hair Club for Men works?
I never used it because it was like
it looks real.
I was in the office with people and they looked like the three of you do. Well, more
I don't
than
look
him.
exactly great.
But they had a hairpiece on, and you walk up and this close, you couldn't tell.
You know, my hair is very thin.
Yeah, but it's there.
Yeah, it is there.
Yeah,
which is. Yeah.
But what they do is you grow your hair long, the side hair. They take a hairpiece and they super glue it to your head.
They got to match it perfectly.
Pretty much, yeah. They super glue this hairpiece to your head. They then, I think they color style. They then have a hairstylist come in and cut and style it, and maybe even whatever. And you go and then you wash it. It's on your head like normal. And then about every 2 weeks you go in and they trim the side hair that's growing to keep it looking right.
You couldn't go to a regular barber?
Or they do it because they know what they're doing.
And it's part of the
$250 a month. So for $2,500 a month, if you're a bald guy, you could look like you have
$3,000 a year.
$3,000 a year. That's why I didn't do it. I mean, I was like, I'm self-centered, but maybe that's a little too much.
Now the bald is in style.
It is what it is. But you still wonder what you'd look like with hair. I've often thought about going and like I'm going to a convention with all of the buying group that I'm part of in April down in Cancun, and I was going to just go get one of those really good wigs and just show up with it. It's like a woman showing up with big boobs one day, right?
All of a sudden, surprise! You know what they say about women like that? Women who get food jobs, they always want people to show people.
Right.
You know, they'll show them and stuff.
Well, I mean, just think of you. I showed up here with hair.
One of my
whoa, who's the new guy?
Right.
My second ex-wife, her friend, just kept showing off.
Look. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I've heard that, and I'm sure it's not every one, but I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, Paula did that a lot.
You should be right outside the thing, so just get it. Hey, show me.
She was always at. You know, you look even.
Compared to.
Yeah. God, what was in John Candy? What was that movie? and we kept showing off her boobs. And he said, looks like something fun for the whole family. Oh, I used to remember the lines they used to call them. You know that my wife's a nurse, and she was in the limb reattachment thing. She called in to Rose when they did her limb reattachments. And they use a lot of super glue and holding stuff together and leeches and all this weird stuff that they do. They're able to put together the arteries pretty well, but the veins coming back are much tougher because there's no pressure in them to blow them out to reattach the small ones, the main ones. So the blood goes down, can't get back out. And so they use the leeches until those veins grow back to keep the blood out. They sound creepy, but they don't.
They use maggots for
wound infection. Yeah.
What do you call it? What is that? Starts with G. What is it? Gangrene.
Gangrene. Yeah. Dead tissue, because they only eat dead tissue.
Right.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Flexident is fixing cars now from all the hail and just dings. If you have a ding in your car and the paint's not damaged, Flexident's the best location, and they are the best at what they do. Okay, here's what I want to tell you about that. Some people have a mixture of some paint damage and non-paint damage. Well, Flexident can handle that. What they'll do is they'll fix all the stuff they can and then send it on to be fixed to someone else. The important part is whenever you can get Flexident paintless dent repair done, you'll be better off, because it is definitely one of the things you want to do when it comes to car repair. It's like it never happened. That's the important thing. Flexident, just remember them. FlexidentColorado.com, 303-619-6273. Nick and his team have more than 100 years of combined experience. 303-619-6273. 619-6273. FlexidentColorado.com. All right, so Buddy Mitchell's with us from Simply off there about some of these problems with businesses. If you have any questions or problems or complaints, give us a call. And of course, if you have floor covering questions, give us a call. And I want to take people who've been waiting and get right to you.
Delbert, what's going on with you, Delbert?
Yeah, Tom, I think your last call probably answered mine.
Which one was that? About which?
On the car and the warranty.
The clutch, yeah. These extended warranties on used cars are practically useless.
Well, yeah, but he's just a young kid. Now he found that out.
Tell me what happened. How many miles? Did he buy a used car warranty?
Yes, he bought a used car, and then, of course, they sold him a warranty, too, with it. And he bought this in December. About 2 weeks ago, the back axle broke on this pickup.
Okay, and what did they say about the axle?
Well, they said he hit something.
Yep.
And
owner abuse, it's called. Yep.
And he did not, of course.
Well, how did it break, though? I mean, they must have
just driving down the street.
Okay, but I don't know why that would be covered anyway, because they're going to say, here's what they're going to say: previous wear and tear. Right. See, that's what I'm saying. They can get out. Yep. Did you realize only manufacturer's defects are covered? How often does that happen on a used truck? How many miles on this?
Well, I don't know, but it's a 2011. So it's 7 years old.
Do they have any evidence at all?
No, they just sent an adjuster out.
Okay, then you know what? I would sue that dealer in small claims court for the cost. I would call it breach of contract and make them prove it. Because here's what I want to know: where is the point of impact? If he hit something, don't you think it would show a point of impact?
Right, correct. And I assume this was probably cracked when he bought it.
Well, see, then that wouldn't be covered. That's a previous wear.
Yeah, but they can't prove that either.
Okay, that's what you suspect. But what I'm saying is, if it was cracked, then it's not covered. And if it was normal wear and tear, it's not covered. But axles don't just fall off under normal wear and tear.
I've got a pickup that's almost 50 years old and never broke an axle.
Well, of course. But see, that's making their argument that he hit something. Why do you think he didn't hit something?
Well, because he's honest.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I mean, if he truly is, then and he says, "Dad, I didn't hit anything," right?
Yeah, and I would believe him if he said that. Yes. So,
Can we have an expert look at it? Is it drivable at all?
No, it's not drivable, and it's back at the dealer, and they...
Okay, Norris. Oh, wait. Did they fix it already?
They fixed it without his authorization.
Ah, damn. How much?
They told him it was going to cost $1,900.
And then what? Did they adjust it?
Yeah, down to $1,500 and something.
Did he pay it?
Not yet. Because
does he have the old? Does he have the old part?
Insurance. Well, I assume he has to get that old part. They can't throw it away. They've got to show him.
Guys, if he hits something, doesn't it? Maybe his insurance would. His insurance could have covered it.
Is that a shitty have to?
And then the insurance they denied the claim because it wasn't an accident. Well, it was borrowed money. So
what do you mean?
Well, because he had to have full coverage on the pickup.
No, you're right. I think it would be covered if he hit something. It would be.
It would have to be covered under comprehensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
But a deductible. I mean, what's your deductible on that?
Right. It's $500.
So listen, Delbert. Let's take it one step at a time. If it's already repaired, even if we sent Norris SOS Inspections over there to look at it, it's fixed. So there's nothing to inspect, right?
Right. Exactly.
Well, it's too late. I mean, I would have had an expert look at it and have them show my expert where is the impact. How do you know it hit something?
Right.
It's too late now, and only because it's fixed. And you know, if they fixed it,
he didn't authorize him to fix it. So
well, that's another thing. Okay, you got a couple of issues. First of all, that's called a violation of the Auto Repair Act. If it was driven in, was it driven in?
No, it had to be towed.
Well, that's. It doesn't cover towed cars.
Okay.
Do you know why? Because they don't want people towing cars into dealers and leaving them there.
Leaving them. Sure.
And then say, and then the dealer can't fix them because they can't get the guy a written warranty. So they.
Right, and I told him they would also have storage fees if nothing else. That's what they would charge him.
Right.
They're still going to get their money either way.
Listen, other than that, was the truck a good buy?
Yeah, it was.
I would do this. I would try to get the money back on the warranty and cancel it. Usually you can cancel those. Under very rare circumstances, can you not cancel them?
Delbert, what kind of truck was it?
It doesn't matter at this point, truly. I mean, it doesn't. I want to move on. Brian, what's going on, Brian?
Hey, I may have nothing here, but I had a surgery back in November of 2015 on my mouth.
Okay.
It was serious. A bunch of bone grafting, shaving, drilling.
Wow. What did you have done?
Basically, I had an infection in my left jaw that turned it to mush, so they had to remove all the teeth. And we went with implants, which we paid like $25,000.
Well, hold on a second, Brian. Why did you get an infection? Did you have poor dental hygiene?
I did on the left side. Yeah, I had a really bad,
in other words, you don't floss and take care and rinse and brush a lot. Were you like I'm just asking straight up? Were you a model of good dental hygiene or not?
In some cases, I was told I overbrushed. I brushed away too much.
Did you see dentists regularly?
No, I did see dentists, but
when was the last time you went to a dentist before this catastrophic one?
It was probably like 2010.
Okay, like 5-6 years ago. The reason I'm saying this, Brian, a lot has to do with what they have to work with. Hold on, and we'll talk about the botched dental implant. He said the dentist was fired, so that's something to really consider. All right, 303-713-TALK. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal. Used cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. They give a Carfax on every car. And listen, shop around. No one ever says, do not shop. But then put Rocky's on the list, and what you will see is the deal you're getting. If you compare apples with apples, they like to believe they're going to get you the best deal. But compare, especially when it comes to trading. When you trade in a car, don't compare anything but the difference. How much cash do you have to pay to drive away in a new car? Then that gets you away from what the car costs and what they're going to give you for the trade. Don't let them manipulate numbers like that. Just look at how much money do I have to pay to get this with a trade. Shop Rocky's Monday through Friday, 9 to 7. Saturdays, 9 to 6. And look at their all-new Rocky'sAutos.com.
but it wouldn't have covered him. I mean, he had
The recall in the axle.
This car, he's not the original owner. Oh. He bought a used car with 100-something thousand miles on it.
Generally, it's from overloading. The wheels pushing up out here and then just fast bearing the axle bending in. They break just about 6 inches inside the wheel bearing from being overloaded, and that could have happened before.
I never even asked if it was loaded. But here's the deal. It's not that I didn't. That's not relevant. What I'm saying is that the call is gone. You know, I don't want to milk calls. I really want to keep it moving. I know one complaint I got recently is I'm hanging on too long to a call. And Mark and I did that the other day. What? You know, sometimes when he gets to these crazy calls, we just take too long.
They're interesting.
Well, if they're fun, yes.
Yeah, if they're interesting, they stay. You ever seen a Chevy when the axle breaks?
I had my axle break.
The wheel sticking way out to the outside the window. Those Chevy half tons, when the axle breaks, you know, the wheel comes out.
Like I said, I've never had a vehicle with an axle brake.
A Chevy half ton.
I didn't lose an axle. I lost the drivetrain out of my truck one time.
The whole drivetrain?
The part that goes and turns the back wheels.
The drive
differential?
The drive shaft.
Yeah.
The drive shaft fell off.
Okay.
Yeah. From bouncing down the road, I'm glad it didn't hit somebody.
Oh, sorry, you
can pole vault on you know, literally you can, if the front of a drive shaft breaks, you can pole vault on a drive shaft.
Yeah.
Your U-joint went probably, right?
Something went. All I know is it fell and it came bouncing out.
Yeah.
Scared the crap out of it.
Older vehicle?
An older truck. I was going about 75 miles an hour down C470, and I watched that thing bouncing down the road. I was just like, thank God it didn't hit somebody, because that could
bounce
kill.
Up in the air. Yeah. I was an adjuster for years. I had some of the weirdest things. A bowling ball fell out of a truck that was, you know, that had full stack full of stuff. And bounced twice, went through the windshield.
How many times do you see a mattress on the road or people moving?
So Mark just out of town, or
working from home today?
Working from home.
Yeah, getting some, you know, little stuff. I think, stuff.
That's my full-time job now.
Plus, he went out with Mikey last night. I'll bet.
Yeah.
You didn't go up to Black Hawk?
Nope, I don't think so. Okay. No, he had Addie. He had to do Addie's type 1 stuff. Hey, Tom, can you come check your email and tell me how to pronounce this word? And then also, it's relevant to remember Val with the license plate fees.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Do we have an update on that?
Open that up and tell me what that word is.
Sojourner.
Sojourner. Okay.
Sojourner.
So this guy is saying.
Sojourner is open.
If you scroll down, if you have this sort of license plate, you don't have to pay the fees, and that's what the guy was talking about. I just got this email, so that's all I know for now.
What fee? He never talked to her.
You know how when you pay your registration fees and taxes and fees, there's always
Which
it's
guy?
not the same caller. This
guy
is someone else just saying, hey, I think this is what your Wacko was talking about. In fact, he actually put that. This is what Wacko was talking about.
I don't understand. Okay. Oh, I thought that was.
What state is that? It looks like a European plate. Piece of shit car. Red primer, white primer. When I was an adjuster, Dan, we had a warranty company, American Warranty, that came to us for us to go inspect things that, you know, to see if they were covered.
Oh, okay. For a used car warranty.
Or used car warranty. No matter what we said, they denied the claim.
You know what? I had one.
I could go and tell them that, yeah, this is a factory defect, and they didn't cover it.
I bought a used car, and for what they ended up replacing, basically covered my warranty costs. I mean, like alternator, boom, took it in there, boom.
No, there must be some that work, or they would still be in business.
Or I got lucky.
Hi, Tom Martino here.
I hope you never need Joe Lazzara, who's a criminal defense attorney, but he's there. and he's good at what he does, and I've known Joe for 30 years. If you get a DUI, first you have to ask yourself why. If you get more than one, you probably have a problem with drinking. But you know, I'm not going to sit here and judge you, all right? What I'm going to say is this. Don't try to calculate the amount you're drinking to see if you're intoxicated or not. Now, if you could get a handheld breathalyzer, they work. They're pretty good. But if you take your breath right before you get in your car, it could change in a half hour of driving because it goes up and down depending on when you ingested alcohol. Joe Lazzara can help you through the system, whether you're guilty and you know it, whether you were falsely accused, whether you made a mistake. The point is not encouraging drinking and driving, but just getting you through the system, and you need an attorney. In fact, you need an attorney if you're accused of anything. Joseph Lazzara, 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. Remember Joe Lazzara. He's on my referral list at referrallist.com. So, he dropped off? Our dental surgery guy dropped off. Okay.
Oh, darn, Tom.
Brian, I hope you're listening. Listen, this is something you need to know. With surgery, with medical things, medical procedures, you have to show that what they did made it worse off than it would have been. So many people call me about delayed diagnosis. The woman had a headache, and severe headaches, and they sent her home. And they gave her pain meds, or they gave her this, or they gave her that. Later on, she finds she has a brain tumor. This is a severe example. So, the husband calls. They sent her home. She had a brain tumor. Okay. There was a difference of 2 weeks. It was terrible. They missed it. Is it malpractice? And even if it is, if they just totally overlooked it on the x-ray, overlooked it, then you have to show that that 2-week period of not knowing did something. And then quantify it with the damage. You see, because the suffering from brain cancer or a brain tumor can happen even if he diagnosed it back then. So now Brian's back. Thank you, Brian. So you had an infection. They pulled out your teeth. They did some implants. Let's just go right to the implants. Why did they fail?
They put the post in, and then all my follow-ups, the doctor couldn't fit anything in there. He was having problems. Finally, when you say fit anything in there, you mean the restoration, they call it, the tooth on the implant? Exactly.
Okay.
Right now I just have the abutments and the posts.
And for those listening, what he's talking about is an implant is actually the screw that goes in, or the post that goes into the bone, and it fuses. After that, they put a restoration or a fake tooth on top of it and screw it into the abutment. And that is what an implant. The implant is not the tooth. It's the thing that goes into the bone. What failed, Brian?
Actually, some of them are in at a wrong angle. One of them fell out before the doctor could ever figure out what was wrong. So jump 2 years. I got called in for another appointment. They had fired him because of my surgery and some other botched ones.
Yes.
And they aligned me with a specialist who I went to.
Yes.
They gave me back my $27,000.
Oh my God! So hold on. So they really are feeling that they did something wrong, because usually you're not going to get that. You're not going to get a dentist fired and $27,000. You got $27,000 back.
I got my reimbursement. They sent me out to a specialist because they wanted to fix me.
Now, did you sign a release at that time?
I refused to sign the release because they wanted me to pretty much not say anything.
Well, they wanted you to exonerate them. Hold on, Brian. This is something we need to get an expert on with this. So hold on and we'll talk about it.
I would say
Brent Ivins.
Marco, to just listen to it.
So is that like a heartbreak when it's coming up like that on the screen?
Yeah, because it's on the screen. Where'd you?
There's on the screen. It says event blocked or whatever.
Oh, I didn't see that. You're looking.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
I haven't seen this before either.
Oh yeah, you're looking at the end.
Oh, the event and block. Okay, I never even. I've seen it up there.
I've never seen that up there either.
You're very observant.
Yeah.
I saw that you got off.
That's called next gen. So what that is that's what's happening. Next gen is the computer that runs everything.
I saw you like cut him off and then bam.
I had to.
And I thought, and I'm sitting there looking at that and I'm thinking, what does BED mean? And I thought maybe there was like a breaking news or something.
That's the first time I've ever seen it on that.
Now breaking news, real breaking news, they just break. I mean, they just say we got news. You know, as much as Trump, I think his personality is abrasive and shit, I don't think from day one he wasn't given a fair shot. I mean, they just fucking attacked this man relentlessly.
That's what makes me like him.
This Russia thing was nuts.
Well, I think what I'm upset with is the establishment Republicans.
Yeah.
That run.
I don't like that.
And they're scared of the media.
Well, what Trump proves to me is that Republicans and Democrats, they both make promises, they both go to Washington, and neither of them do anything. Neither of them. The Democrats don't do anything for their constituents. The Republicans don't do anything for their constituents. They're both there. It's one thing. Let's go to Washington
and then get
reelected and get rich. And we don't really have to accomplish anything.
I ran for the House of Representatives in Colorado in 2010, and by the time I got done, I quit the Republican Party. I hated both by the time I was done.
I do say Democrats stick together like glue.
God, yes.
Republicans, not so much.
Well, that's because of our core values.
Yeah, I think you're right. I agree.
It's
a conservative.
Yeah, that's
Democrats not only stick together, they're mean son of a bitch.
Oh.
And what's funny is they look at conservatives as mean and unloving. Conservatives embrace diversity way more than Democrats. Democrats talk what their idea of diversity is think like me.
Right.
In other words, what's weird is it's like it's not truly diverse because you'll have them embrace like they embrace like okay. I saw a concert where they were doing this for George Harrison and this bunch of and it's a liberal crowd and there's nothing wrong with this, but they were because it was a concert for George. They were singing Hare Krishna songs and talking about, and then they had his spiritual advisor Ravi Shankar come up and talk about Krishna. Okay, I'm telling you, I know damn well that if he was a Jesus follower, they would never do it. Because it's popular to be
anti,
not just anti, just something else. Like in other words, they just. It could be the most ridiculous thing in the world, but they embrace it because it's diversity. But they're truly not diverse because they won't embrace a straight white Christian male who touts his thought. I don't know. That's to them. It's like, oh no, you're not diverse. But the whole idea of diversity is being different. And so there's all kinds of ways to be different.
Right.
And diversity means you got to fit our definition of what you should be. Yeah. I swear to God it is.
Well, I agree.
It is there because, their true diversity is embracing all of that.
Yeah. George Harrison was a Hare Krishna?
Mm-hmm.
So he used to wear the white stuff and...
He wore his God,
what was
who is George Harrison?
Beatles.
Jesus.
The Beatles?
He was one of the founding.
That's what I thought.
I'm not a Beatles fan either.
I'm a Beatles fan.
I am such a Beatles fan.
I know.
I heard a lot of their music, but
this was a concert.
I was pretty sure.
Those concert events where they do it in a theater, but you see it. Yeah. And I'm telling you, what a great concert. But these old rockers, Jesus Christ, are they crusty?
What was that white, crazy one?
I was thinking George Harrison was a Beatle, but I was, you start thinking of Lennon and
all
the others.
George Harrison wrote such beautiful music.
Yeah, they did. But who was the crazy wife? The one that
Yoko.
Oh,
that was Lennon.
She's got inner beauty.
But she was wild and crazy. You talk about diverse.
You talk about ugly.
Yeah, she was diverse to the...
George Harrison's son walked out on stage, and I swear to God it was him in his young days. Oh my God, he looks so. I'm gonna show you. This kid is such a good-looking kid. It looks just like him. Okay, look at this one. Here he is. That's his son. Look at him.
Yeah, they look like
Oh my God, he was on stage. I thought I was seeing the Beatles.
Yeah, God, he does look that
Oh,
way. What do you
well,
call him?
way young.
When you get married, he just walked him.
Plus they gave him the same hairstyle.
Well, that kid, that might have been a few years ago. George Harrison's son is such a good-looking kid, but I mean, and so talented.
I was going to say, does he have the talent?
Oh my God, they have talent. I would love to see his son and Lennon's son, and I'd like to see them all get together. Ringo has a son, right? A drummer. And this is Lennon's son.
You're right. That would be a good to get together.
Yeah.
It's just the Beatles, but.
Oh, George Harrison's son is a good musician. I don't know if he can write like his dad.
You know
So who wrote the most? It was Lennon and what's his name wrote the most songs, wasn't it?
Lennon and McCartney wrote the most.
McCartney, yeah.
But Harrison wrote some beautiful songs. Ringo wrote some ridiculous songs.
Was he Yellow Submarine?
Yeah, that whole album was...
No, you can't tell me that's a good song.
He sang it. I don't know if he wrote it.
Yeah, there was some really bizarre stuff there when they were getting into their drug days.
Yeah, Yellow Submarine, was that a drug one? I don't know.
I think Ravi Shankar was a really big influence on him.
Yeah. That sitar music you played. There we go. The Beatles.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
3-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What is going on in your life? This is the Consumer Advocacy Show, brought to you by Become the Banker, a safe, conservative investment for almost anyone. I can see no reason not to do it. It shouldn't be your own investment. By the way, we talk about investments here. We talk about buying and selling, retail, wholesale, neighbor versus neighbor, career. We talk about every transaction imaginable. If you have any questions or just want to unload, do it. You know, here's what I love about the show. You know how things like sometimes just piss you off and you don't really have anyone to tell? And you're just really fuming. That guy shouldn't have done that. That woman should have never done that. They're so impolite. I want to let them know about this. I want to let them know. Call the show and unload. I promise you, if you just want to unload, you can unload. I will let you rant about anything you want. About me. About anything. Listen, I don't know why you'd rant about me. I just want to help. I want to be a vehicle for change. You may not agree with me, okay? But there's no reason to dislike. The only time I dislike people is when they cheat and lie and hurt people. No, I do not like liars and cheaters. I don't like them. I don't like when they hurt people. And sleazbrigade.com will tell you about those who hurt people. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on, of course, KHOW Radio, 630 KHOW in Denver, KRDO in Colorado Springs, and some other affiliates, as well as, of course, our download audience, huge download audience. So if you're hearing us, no matter when you're hearing us, feel free to contact us, no matter when it is, at 303-MARTINO. 303-627-8466. You can leave a message or it'll come to us here. So let's talk. Buddy Mitchell's with us from Simply Floors. And we really didn't have any specific floor covering questions, but we do have a few emails that are about the designer part and floors. They want to know if floors have fashion. Like, are there things that are dangerous to put in because they're going to change? And I think for sure, look at the people that had shag carpeting. I think that is a definite deal killer. Don't you, buddy? I mean, I think you have fashion. What have you seen last the longest? What has stood the test of time? That's what they really are asking.
Multicolored carpet. Right now we're selling, we still sell a tremendous amount of...
What do you mean multicolored?
Well, carpet with flecks or speckles in it.
They prove the test of time?
Yeah.
They last?
Yeah, well, it's not that, it's that it fills a function that a lot of people want, which if you put a solid carpet in, everything that's the opposite color of whatever color you put in shows.
But they used to call it speculator beige. You can put beige in, right?
Oh, you can put beige in, but if you put beige in with flex, people with kids and with busy families that can't vacuum a lot, speckled carpet hides that.
Oh.
And so...
What about sculpted carpet? Is that in or out? The waffling or sculpting?
Yeah, we sell a lot of... They call it precision cut pattern. And so it's like patterned carpet. It's a little more durable than textured carpet.
What's the difference between texture and
a textured carpet? Is if you close your eyes and think about carpet, that's what they call a cut pile or a texture.
Okay.
And then there's
sculpted is a design like it could have squares or yeah. I love sculpted carpet.
Yeah,
and it seems tight. Really tight.
Well, it's the second most durable carpet
What's
style.
What's the first more?
Looped.
Looped
carpet. You go to DIA, the carpet in DIA is looped carpet. They take
tight loop.
Tight loop, and then residentially, a big loop carpet is very durable.
All right. 303-713-TALK. You can talk to us. I'm going to go to, we left off with an implant surgery. I'm trying to get an expert on. So I just want to wait a couple minutes. If we don't, I'll go right back to you, okay? Now, Carolyn, you've been waiting. What's going on, Carolyn?
So I got a judgment entered against me from an apartment I owed money in 2013.
Okay, you already have the judgment, all right?
Yes.
How much is it?
The original amount was $2,060.
Okay, and they're garnishing your wages. They can take up to 25%.
Right. But the problem is, so they did garnish my wages in 2013. They say I didn't satisfy that garnishment. So last year they sued my husband.
Wait, why did they sue your husband?
They said I didn't satisfy the garnishment.
Well, why your husband? Oh, you're both on it. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So he paid them the remaining balance of the account, and
do you know what that was? Do you know what the remaining balance was?
Around $1,400. They were saying they took.
Sure.
But now they, I just received a continuing garnishment, and they are trying to garnish my wages again.
But why?
They're saying it's that they sent us a dismissal with prejudice only in my husband's name. It says he is the only one dismissed from the case, and now they are garnishing my wages.
Okay,
again.
but there still has to be an amount owing. What's the amount owing?
They're saying $1,605.
Well, did you get an accounting? Like, do they show the original judgment was $2,060? Then they should have an accounting of when they took payments out, when your husband paid, and why you still owe $1,600. It doesn't make sense to me. If your husband paid if your husband paid $1,400 and they're saying you owe $1,600, there's something we're not hearing. Because I'll tell you why, okay, Carolyn? Usually creditors aren't that stupid and don't make the mistake. Usually it's the debtor, and I'm not saying in this case that's true, but it's usually the debtor who is leaving something out or doesn't understand something. But I think you are perfectly within your rights to sue them. And to go back to court for an accounting if they won't give it to you. Who is collecting this judgment?
It is Continental Collection Agency.
Okay, why don't you just ask Continental Collection Agency for an accounting from day one? Say, look, just say to them, it doesn't make sense. If I owed $2,060, just forget about even the monthly garnishments or the weekly garnishments. If I owed $2,060 and my husband paid $1,400, how could I possibly owe $1,600? Just ask the question.
So far when I've tried to call, I've only gotten through to the secretary, so...
We'll try to get you... Listen, I'll try to get one of our people here. I'm going to get Deputy Clint to call right now. Because really, Carolyn, it's a matter of accounting. If there's only two possibilities, or three. One, they simply made a mistake, okay? Or you made a mistake. So one, it's a mistake. Number two, it's an intentional fraud. And number three... it's the truth. I mean, what else is there?
I mean, and that's what I figured, but like going off just solely off what I have from the continuing writ of garnishment, plus because that acknowledges that they took $1,200 for my checks before.
Okay, hold on. You actually have something that shows they took $1,200.
Yes.
And then you have a $1,400 payment your husband made, and you can prove that.
Yes.
Okay, so that's $2,600. The original judgment was $2,000, and they're saying you still owe $1,400. Now, come on, there is something wrong here, Carolyn, and I can't believe you haven't just asked questions. This has to be. Is there a way your employer is going to abide by this no matter what because it's a court order? Jeez, you have to, your husband needs to sue or someone. You need to open it up so you can demand documentation, but they should be able to give it to you upon request. I'm going to have Clint call, okay, Continental Collection Agency, and all we're trying to do is facilitate. We're not going to even ask for information. We're just going to say the numbers don't add up, and can you please give our friends who have called us for help an accounting? Clint, can you do it right now? Because this is frustrating to me. People, don't you often wonder how things get so screwed up? Don't you? And you think, this can't possibly be this bad. Now, Brian, I didn't forget about you. I want to go back to you about this botched implant surgery. Here's what I have to tell you in a nutshell. When it doesn't matter if it's your procedure or another procedure, if it's dental or otherwise, here's what you need to think about. It's not the pain, the suffering, and the condition. It is, what did they do? What did they do that made it worse? Not made it the same, made it worse. The fact that they gave you a refund doesn't prove they made it worse. It proves they did nothing of value. There's a difference, okay? So now, we can agree you didn't get value, right?
Right.
Okay, but did they make it worse?
Well, they sent me outhouse because they couldn't fix what was done.
All right, so have they released you as a patient? In other words, are you no longer a patient?
No, I'm still with them, but they sent me to a specialist.
And what did the specialist say?
Well, they sent me to 3. They all agree I'm really messed up, and then the bid back, or the estimate was $60,000 to fix what they did.
Okay, but hold on now, Brian. Is it $60 to fix what they did, or would it have been $60 to fix you anyway?
Nope, $27. It was $25 plus my insurance that the original surgery was going to cost. Now,
and what was the original surgery for?
Implants. But none of the implants are any good. They've already established that all 8 implants in my mouth are no good. So they have to be removed. There has to be 6 put back, or 12, 6 lower, 6 upper put back in to make this work again. But there has to be drilling, shaving, and bone grafting again.
Brian, we're still not getting to the root issue. Here's what I'm trying to discern, and help me out here. These guys, I grant you that it might cost, what did you say, $50,000 to fix?
60.
60. Okay, but let's say you went in and they did not do a good job, or they did the best they could, but in your situation, it was beyond their skill level, and therefore, and let's just say they needed to do more work. What I'm saying is the failure of the implants is what is costing you to come back and redo it. But why did they fail? That's the point. Did they
actually? They never got the implants in because the posts were put in wrong. So not the actual tooth over the post never got put in. Because
wait a minute. Were the implants put in?
They were put in wrong, yes.
And so when they put them in wrong, they never did restore the mouth after that. They just left it at. They just tried to correct that.
I've been stuck ever since.
I see. I get it.
Implants.
So if they put the implants in wrong, then I agree with you. They should pay every penny to make it right. But hold on. Not to complete the job. Remember, you went to them and you were expecting to pay $27,000. If they did not do it wrong, here's the primary question. If they
did it wrong.
Brian, here's the primary question. if they had not done it wrong, would it have cost $27,000 in everyone's mind? In other words, did you have a $27,000 case, or did they misdiagnose you? Because if it was going to cost 50 grand no matter where you went because you're complicated, then the fact that they put them in wrong, they made you whole by refunding the 27. But if they did it wrong, where it's costing more work because of what they did, that's what you have to tell me, okay? Like, is this 50 grand, all of it, all of the 50 grand, because of what they did wrong, or were you going to have to spend 27 anyway? Of course you were. You were expecting to. In other words, they're not going to do all the work and pay for it simply because they failed. I don't know if I'm making sense. Buddy or Dan, am I making sense or not? What I'm saying is this. He's got to pay 50 grand to correct it. What I need to know, and I know I'm overtime, what I need to know is that 50 grand because of what they did wrong, or is part of it because of what they did wrong? Because he was going to pay 27 anyway.
Yeah, that's the question that he has to find out.
Is that making sense then?
Yes.
He was going to pay 27 anyway. Dan?
That was his output. He also had insurance on that, too.
Okay, so we have to figure out how much of that 50 is because of what they did wrong. They already gave him 27. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, and I know I'm running over time, but I have to tell you about their specials. They have these new smart hearing aids that are compatible with your cell phones. You no longer have to have a control unit. Everything is controlled through your cell phone, and they will let you try these out with no obligation, free of charge, so long as you get an evaluation. 303-534-0163, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, for the new smart hearing aids controlled by your cell phone for all different situations. It's a wonderful thing, and to be sure, you get a free, no obligation trial period. 303-534-0163.
I never gave out the contact information. I just said the hour, so I need to give that out coming back.
He went in and he paid 27 grand. They did something wrong. Okay. Now he's saying it's going to be 50. Do they have to pay the whole 50 or just the difference? In other words, he was going to pay 27 anyway.
Right.
They only have to pay the difference. They don't have to pay the whole 50.
Unless they jacked it up.
Right.
If they jacked it up, then they owed the whole money. But that would be my company would take care of it.
If they jacked it up, okay, what would the 50 get him? If the 50 gets him implants, he was going to pay for them anyway.
Yeah, he should pay the 27,
exactly.
and they should pay the difference.
It's only the extra money that he is out. He's only out the extra money. But
now he could sue. Now he could sue
that's right.
For pain and suffering.
Right. That's right.
You screwed this up, and for 3 years I've had no teeth.
Exactly. That part is different. Yeah. But the economic loss.
Right. I mean, that would be what I would if I were him, I'd say
so many
3 years because you screwed this up.
So many people skip that concept. They forget the original money. For example, you were going to go in your engine needed major work. You were going to spend $2 grand. Okay? They screwed it up. Now you need another engine. The engine's going to cost you $5. They don't owe you $5. They owe you $3. They owe you $3. Because you were going to pay $2. You had the job, and people do not get this in their head.
Right. We've had that before where we screwed something up, we fix it, and then they don't want to pay us the original amount. And we're like, we didn't charge you for the extra.
Exactly.
But you should pay us the original amount.
Whatever you were.
Yes, but I had to. Blah blah blah.
So what do you do in a case like that?
Tell them to pay us, and then it boils down to if they don't.
I know it sucks.
Do we sue them? Right? I had a customer, a Martino customer. We went in and we did the whole room, and he was really, really picky, and so he tried to cut it tight, and we were 2 inches short up against the wall. 2 inches short of material. Had to wait. So we told him and said, you know what? We moved all the furniture back. No, it's wood. One piece of wood. We got all the way to here. 2 inches away from the wall. There was we had 2 inches of wood we had to put in. Called the manufacturer, it's going to take a week to get. We moved all the furniture back in. A week later, we got the wood. We came back in. We pulled the furniture out from the wall, put the 2 inches of wood. What did he want? He didn't pay me $800. He said because he couldn't use the room for a week, he refused to pay me $800.
Well, what's 800? What is 800?
It was about 800 because he decided.
Who came up with the 800?
He did.
Just arbitrarily.
Arbitrarily, he sent me a check for the balance with a letter and said minus $800 and said sue me for the difference.
And you should.
And I should. I didn't. I was
and
like.
You know what? In that case, you should. Yeah, you absolutely should.
The reason being, so this guy's going to do it to someone else.
I know. And I would love a sleaze brigade.
No, we are.
Consumers. For consumers.
I'm doing it. It's in process. I promise you. It's the most brilliant thing. You know what it's called? Biz on you.
It's awesome. If you do that, I will help support that.
No, biz on you. That's the original reason I hired Daphne. Do you know that? Do you know that? She was working on it, and then I got all overwhelmed with everything else. Oh, it's going to be. Exactly.
PR guy's not there.
No, call me back.
Sir, there's been some tragedies with businesses, I think, escalate the situation, and now this person goes
They get into a cockfight.
But they go to another business and do the same thing. Hey, I got $5,000 from me. I can get $5,000 from this. People take it back to.
Tom, what do you want to do with the botched dental guy? I missed how you ended that.
I didn't end it.
Oh, pardon me. And then he has an update. He can't.
He has great updates.
Yeah.
Not just one.
The autopsy one we got to talk about, and then the one for Carolyn. On line 2 with the collection agency.
Yeah, you can't get through.
Yeah, so what do you do when you can't get through to people?
Well, we're going to just keep trying, so we'll mark it as a follow-up.
Plus, that collection
so do you want me to just kill her?
No, and that's the thing. We're not asking for account information. We're simply asking for them to give her a detail. That's where we get around that. We'll say, no, we don't want any information.
But if she could
do you want me to kill her then?
No, I won't.
Okay.
Now, I said Become the Banker. This hour was brought to you by Become the Banker. And I want to give you the information to find out more about this safe conservative investment. They're having seminars. Some people don't want to go to a seminar, so you don't have to. But here's what I want to tell you. I did check out this investment, and I know for absolutely sure it is safe. 125 years safe as far as the insurance companies. And it is conservative. It's not going to get you, 20% returns, but it's not going to lose you money. And also, it is easy to get into, and it's overfunding. Here's what it is. If I had to explain it very quickly, overfunding life insurance on purpose in order to grow that money tax-free as allowed by the government, and borrowing from that through your life instead of using credit cards, and paying yourself back interest on top of what you're charged for it in order to accumulate even more money. Then have a nest egg when you're approaching retirement to draw from as mini loans, and these loans are not paid back during your life, and you never pay tax on it. The death benefit pays off the loans. Now, to do all of this is very easy. You decide how much, and then fund it, and then overfund it, and then the frosting on the cake is the life insurance. Listen, everyone who's called me, everyone who's had a criticism, they were not valid. Every single person who said, well, what about this and what about that? Because I'm not saying it's your only investment. I'm not saying it's going to make you rich. What I'm saying is it will grow at 4% guaranteed, 4%. And you pay for some insurance. There's a cost of insurance in there. And then there's a dividend of 1%. That's not guaranteed. But your money will grow tax-free. 303-779-6600. It's a safe, conservative investment. It's easy to get started. It should be one of your portfolio. 303-779-6600. The only thing I do before this can be your first investment after a savings of about 3 months of expenses. 303-779-6600, or sign up for a seminar at becomethebanker.org. Becomethebanker.org. Okay, so with the botched implants, I think I did a poor job of explaining it. So I'm just going to explain this and ask Brian for an answer. Okay, he was expecting to fix his mouth for $27,000. Okay, they couldn't do it because they screwed it up. So now it's going to cost $50,000. $60,000. My question is, after paying $60,000, what will your mouth be after $60,000? If everything goes correctly, what condition will your mouth be?
Actually, it's supposed to be like, it'll be amazing. I mean, I've already done some try-ins.
No, Brian, that's what I'm saying. For $60,000, what will your mouth be?
The only thing we're not sure about now is the jaw pain. I've seen a specialist out of my pocket who's determined that there's like jaw issues like TMD and TMJ.
Yeah, and that can be done, by the way, that can be done at Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. Remind me to give you their number. They're experts. And it's not as much, it's a series of mouthpieces actually that help. And really you should probably talk to them along the way, because they could advise the implant people on a few things. They're on angles and stuff. But Brian, let's get back to this. Let's just say at $60,000, you will end up the way you expected to end up for $27,000. But because they screwed it up, instead of 27, it's now 60. Is that a correct statement? Yeah. Okay.
Right, because there's a lot of removal and bone grafting that has to be done now.
Let's not talk about pain and suffering and all that right now. Let's just talk about economic damages. Your economic damages, okay, you have to figure. Your economic damages right now are not $60,000. And I hope you understand the reasoning. That your economic damages, that dentist that you first went to owes you $33,000. I'm not talking about pain and suffering now. Forget that. That's an additional. And I'll tell you why they owe you $33. Because you were expecting to get a restoration, a mouth restored, for $27,000. Instead, it's costing you $60 because of their mistake. It's unreasonable to think that they should just buy you a free mouth. Now, that's without taking into consideration the pain and suffering. The economic damages, I want you to understand. If you were going for pure economics, you were expecting to pay $27 for a perfect job. Instead, you have to pay $60 for a perfect job. That dentist should pay the difference. No matter how you look at it, they should pay the difference. So even though they gave your money back, no, they need to pay $33,000 to this, and then you give the $27 they just gave you back to them, and you are as if you walked in and had it done the first time right. Now, pain and suffering, that's a whole different ballgame.
There's an agreement here that we're not hearing. See, they brought in the owners who brought me in for a special meeting to let me know they fired the dentist, that they were sorry. And I have it in writing. They want to give me a refund and take care of me. They're going to send me to a professional because this is too much for them to fix. Like, this is... No, you said that, right.
You said that. Those are the economic damages, okay? Are they going to pay the difference in... Are they going to pay the $33,000?
Well, here's where we're at. They want to pay the $60, but what they're doing...
Hold on. They want to pay the $60, and you still get to keep the $27 they refunded.
Right, plus pain and suffering, which you don't want to talk about.
No. I do want to talk about it, but first I want to talk about economic damages. As far as economic damages go, Brian, they are doing they're doing more than they need to economically. What are they giving you for pain and suffering?
We haven't even gone there because they're suing the dentist that they fired's malpractice.
Okay, Brian, let me just say this to you. This is between me and you. I don't want you to tell them this, okay? But this is what I know for sure. I know this because we've handled these for years and years and years. You have a great case. However, if they're already agreeing to pay $60 grand for your entire restoration and you don't have to pay a dime, they do know they have some pain and suffering to pay. How much is between you and them, but I will tell you this. That pain and suffering is better negotiated with them than going to court, because I do not believe this case is big enough for you to win with an attorney, because attorneys have to invest too much money for these.
And there we go again. They aligned us with an attorney.
No, who did?
The dental practice.
You don't have... What, are you kidding me? You don't let them pick your attorney?
Hold on. No, and then they want us to go with them against.
No, you're going against that. Yes, you are going to go against that dentist, but you're also going to go against them. These guys are trying to get you to be on their side. They are the enemy, and the other guy's the enemy. Now, they might be a nice enemy, but they're an enemy. Brian, you need an attorney to represent you, but a good attorney is going to help you negotiate a settlement, because a good attorney is probably not going to take this, because you're not going to have, in malpractice, you have to have at least $300,000 in damages before they will even look at you, okay? So I'm telling you, it's hard, and I think you're doing the right thing, okay? I really think you're doing the right thing. Again, Aurora Orthodontics I mentioned. I really want you to contact them, please. Now, Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ, they take mouths that have crooked teeth and stuff. They don't do the implants. In fact, they do without implants and without surgery. But here's the point I want to make. They can use mouthpieces that you wear at night to adjust your jaw and cure the TMJ and the sleep apnea. The byproduct is your teeth become straight and beautiful, and then they use Invisalign braces at the end. The whole thing takes about 2 years. Now, with your situation, if all you need is the widening of the palate to help your TMJ and stuff, they can do that in conjunction with these other doctors with implants. Whatever it is, I would always call Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ before you do cosmetic dentistry or before you do other stuff, because they can work in concert, even with implants. I always say they work without implants and without surgeries to give you a perfect smile and also to cure the TMJ and the apneas, but they can work with people who need implants as well. 303-690-0100, Brian. 303-690-0100, Dr. Kent Lawson. Tell him I told you to call about this.
Yes. Did you? Somebody went and looked at this lady's carpet that Home Depot put in.
Yeah, that was me.
That was you?
Is that her?
Yeah, Dixie, Sarah.
Yeah. Did they give her new carpet or?
Yeah, they're paying her all that. They're giving her a full refund.
Right. We're going out there to put in carpet for her then.
Oh, you are? Good.
She emailed me.
Please, you got a lot of followers.
She emailed me that, or she called yesterday and said, can you come out and give me a quote on carpet? Because Home Depot's giving me all my money back.
Yep.
How did you get them to do that?
Okay.
Well, the big thing is that they're going to go after the contractor, I assume.
The installer.
The installer.
I mean, he did it, but he butchered that. Right?
Apparently, the installer now admitted that he ran the naps the wrong way on that seam or something.
Oh, really? Wow, that's pretty.
That was his.
Is that what he said? He ran it the wrong way?
He didn't have enough carpet. He had to run the nap the wrong way.
So this was a.
And is that mean the grain of carpet went this way on one and that way on the other?
No, he must have reversed it then. I don't know why he would have reversed it. The seam showed, and I couldn't tell if the seam was overlapped, gapped, or if it was a defect of the carpet. Okay? Because here the pattern was different than here, just a little bit. And you can do that by overheating the carpet and blooming one side of the carpet and not the other with a seaming iron. Yeah. And he could have done that. And I told her, I said, there's a defect. Something's wrong with this. Yeah. Call Home Depot and have them fix it. And then they put the seam.
No.
They put the seam right in the center of the room, right? Right down the middle of the hallway, right, because they didn't want to put it over at the edge. And I told her, I said, I would have laid it, so it's a 45-degree room just like this. They put it 12 feet from there to here, which put it right in the middle of everything, instead of going 12 feet and then she has a couch right there, and then the seam would have been under the couch. I said, if I was the installer, I would have moved it this way, I'd have done this, this, and this, and this is how I'd have done it.
Well, the installer complained to Home Depot they didn't give him enough carpet, is why he had to do it.
And that could be true.
Okay. So
because I came up with, I don't. He didn't know what he was doing. Well, we do drawings.
Yeah.
We do drawings and tell our installers how to do it, right?
Yeah.
And I have her in here.
Okay.
I think I called her little old lady.
I didn't have her number. She is a little old lady.
She's you know.
No, I got a real good contact with Stephen Holmes at Home Depot. It's just been great. And I have to tell them that they have been great. Full refund.
So buddy, on this one here, that lady, you need to do it like in warm weather, so she can open up her windows, because she's gonna complain about the smell.
Is
Is this
this-
the one that cat quit?
We'll just probably,
Is this the one with the cat?
Yeah.
Oh, the same one?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah, I forgot about that.
So I'm saying she's sensitive to the smell, and all new carpet has smell. And I think it should be in the springtime when she can open it up then.
She also, on top of this, after all that, said, now I have to pay to rip all this out now. I said, you got a full refund, let's...
and she already paid to have it tore out, and so the full refund is paying to have it tore out again.
Oh, it does?
You guys can tear it out.
We'll tear it out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, that's what I thought, and but anyway, yeah, this was great at Home Depot to make a full refund on this, but wouldn't have happened if Buddy hadn't gone out. That's why I was saying thank you for these, because when you go out,
do the follow.
Did you ask her if her cat was back talking? You should have, because that's even a better follow-up.
Hey, by the way, did they confirm that it was it outgassing, Buddy?
No.
Okay.
There's no outgassing.
Was it bad?
That's a good carpet.
Oh, was.
That's a good
So why'd you get a refund?
Because they butchered the install.
Oh, okay.
And I think they butchered, he's saying that they reversed the nap on it, which is hard to tell, but if they did.
What is that called? Reversing the nap. How do you do
Okay,
that?
you run the carpet this way, you gotta run this one this way, you can't run it this way, and he said he ran it this way, and that's why the pattern was off.
Who's he?
the installer said he didn't have enough carpet to do it right.
But it was right down the middle of the room.
And it was in the middle of the room,
So-
and then they had a seam at the door that was just horrible.
And then they broke that transition to the bathroom and left it.
And then, they tore the transition out. I sent the picture into Mark. I could not believe it.
Did I leave
You
off
know what
that
they told
anyone know,
her?
right?
They told her, the installer told her, we'll just throw a rug over it.
If you want to do
Like a
lease,
bath
I
rug
got
over
his
it.
number.
Let's just get some area rugs and hide
Well, Mark,
on bad carpet.
you know what?
Let's wait, just do it tomorrow.
We got to do it though from the beginning of the show. And then just hound them.
I agree.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, proud to tell you about True Stem Cell Therapy, Centeno Schultz. Please read about True Stem Cell Therapy. You'll find out there are a bunch of ripoffs around the country, and there's very little enforcement. Most chiropractors are ripping people off, claiming to do stem cell therapy when they're doing only amniotic fluid. It's not the same. So, True Stem Cell Therapy, Centeno Schultz, knees, hips, back, shoulders, most ACL tears. And here's the good thing. They're MDs, they're doctors, registered nurses. They use imagery. If you're not a candidate for stem cell therapy, they have other therapies available. That's what it's all about at a medical clinic. 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201. Now, this collection agency deal, I am just baffled by it. Clint, you tried to call, and you couldn't get through, but you are going to continue, right? Isn't that bottom line? Yeah. All right, here's what we're asking, Carolyn. We're simply going to ask for an accounting. And if not, then we're going to take steps to get rougher. These collection agencies should give accountings. The math just doesn't add up. I don't see how the original bill can be $2,000. Your husband paid $1,400. You were garnished $1,200. That's $2,600 alone. And then they're saying on top of that, you owe another how much?
$1,600.
Yeah. Well, doesn't that sound crazy? I mean, come on.
It does.
That would be a total of $4,200. So we will work on it. Speaking of working on things, we had a guy who said, my dad was at home with mom. He fell down the stairs and died. He had an accidental death life insurance policy. Only accidental death. Not a regular policy, just accidental death. The coroner said it was not an accident. He had a heart attack or a stroke. Which one was it?
They don't know which one.
Okay, he had a medical event that caused him to fall down the stairs. And the son says, no, that's not true. I said, how do you know? You weren't even there. Because mom saw him. He was stumbling. Well, how do you know he wasn't having a stroke or a heart attack? You want it to be accidental because of the money. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But bottom line is, the guy stumbled. Did he stumble as a result of a natural cause? Or did he have an accident which caused the heart or the stroke? So, let's talk. What did you find out, Clint?
Well, El Paso County and this medical examiner is the first one around, I don't know if in the state or the country, to get a new technology called a LODOX, L-O-D-O-X. It's a low-dose X-ray. 13 seconds. It goes from head to toe. And they can do what now really needs to be called a virtual autopsy.
No, wait a minute. They're doing a virtual autopsy while he's on the table. They're taking, instead of cutting him open, this is scanning his body.
Yeah, this was.
What do they see?
Well, this was a real quick history on this thing. It's really fascinating. De Beers Diamond Mine developed this thing to X-ray their employees every day.
Oh, they want to X-ray to see if. Oh, this is fascinating.
That's why the low dose. They can do 400 of these a year and have about the same as a dental X-ray. But it's the
I'm not finding it on LODOX.
LODOX.
Oh yeah, there it is. Oh yeah.
Anyway, they can see embolisms. It X-rays both bone and tissue. They can see almost anything on these things.
Wow.
It's stuff they've never seen before. And so what happened on this, they could not find a physical injury on the guy. There was no bones broken. There was no bleeds in his head.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, if they couldn't find a injuries from the fall, then it had to be a natural death.
Well, no, that doesn't make sense to me. If he fell, are they saying they lied about the fall altogether? He never fell?
No, they said the fall, the only injury he had from the fall was a bloody nose and a little cut on his arm. He literally wasn't injured from the fall, let alone a fatal injury.
The fall didn't kill him, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
No, but the fall could have caused a heart attack or a stroke. That was the point, not that the fall killed him. I can see clearly where a fall did not kill him, but it was an accident oh no, because it even reads that way, Clint. You showed me the wording. It says, if an accident causes a physical injury, the physical injury is, in fact, that was the standard of law, wasn't it?
Yes.
You found something in the law, in common law, that said that it's a natural cause. If an accident causes you to have a heart attack or a stroke or something, it's a natural cause.
To speed it up.
It's not an accident. If it sped up your death, it's not an accidental death.
Correct.
It's a onset, but it's not.
This technology can be really valuable in emergency rooms, because in 13 seconds they can find somebody that's been in a bad accident, every injury they have.
13 seconds?
13 seconds, 6-foot scan.
Wow. That's incredible. Okay, thank you for that follow-up. So, bad news for him. They're not going to get the accidental death money. 303-713-8255. Whew. Okay, Rory, I noticed, have been waiting a while. Rory, go ahead. What's going on? Rory, what's going on?
Yeah, how you doing, Tom?
What can I do for you?
Hey, I had an RV that needed an engine.
Yes.
This is back last October.
Okay.
And I took it to an engine shop there in Westminster.
Okay, well, what's the problem?
Problem was the engine was no good.
Wait. The engine, you paid for a rebuilt engine?
I did.
And it was no good?
Well, that's a long story. He fed a bunch of bad fuel into it.
Now, were you buying it? Were you buying new or used? Was it a rebuilt engine or a used engine?
A rebuilt.
Okay, so that's pretty clear. You were paying for a rebuilt engine. So when he installed it, when did it go bad?
It went bad as soon as he fired it up, and
as soon as he fired it up, what? Did it fail?
There was bad fuel in it.
And it stopped running, but how did that ruin the engine? Bad fuel won't ruin an engine in a few minutes.
I don't know. I think they had it running for a while.
I guess it doesn't matter. You didn't get what you paid for. I mean, is this guy trying... how long ago was this?
This has been going on for 4 months now.
Okay. So, did you pay for this?
I paid... up front, $2,700 for the engine.
And then how much? How much was the whole job going to be? The engine job, not anything else, just the engine.
Originally $4,400.
Okay, $4,400. So it was $2,700 for the engine, and the rest for
labor installation.
$4,400. Okay, so. Is he fixing it? I mean, he's got to get you an engine that runs. I mean, if he puts an engine in and starts it up and it doesn't run, he owes you an engine. I mean, I don't even know what the discussion is at this point. So hold on and we'll figure it out. All right? Golden Orchard is an assisted living facility that has a few rare openings. Now, they charge between $4,000 to $5,000 for rent, and that covers everything. The furniture, the food, the treats, the snacks, outings, everything they do. You know, your laundry, everything is included in one price. And it's assisted living, not a nursing home, and it's way cheaper. It's beautiful. GoldenOrchard.com. Look at these facilities. You will love them. They were built to be assisted living facilities, and they have been caring for seniors since '95. They also have some homes that specialize in Alzheimer's, dementia, and memory care. 303-795-0784. 303-795-0784. GoldenOrchard.com.
Okay, the noon will be brought to you by Raleigh House, and then Al's going to
High
be
Country
15,
Drive, the good news, 285
or whenever. I don't care, whenever.
Between Highway 8 and C470 has been shut down since early this morning due to a semi-crash and a fuel spill. That's all gone now, and the highway is open.
If I was to read, unless he bought the retail thing,
Just write it down so you know.
Downtown, a crash being reported.
Black and white girl.
I know, I love it. It's my new beauty light. It's the camera's black and white on me. Looks better. Drew doesn't allow any natural light or anything, and I just get all orange.
No, you get reflection off the screen.
Well, but if I had...
In low light, you get reflection off the screen.
It's like Stephanie when we go for our driver's licenses. She wants to make light longer. You know, she doesn't want just a normal light.
Yeah. So anyway.
We found out how to do it, though.
But the black and white kind of makes you like, you know, like that critter in a black and white, you know, night vision, like, ooh, it kind of looks like that.
You look like young Frankenstein movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's better than the ultra orange tan and the pink hair.
No, it does reflect off. It's a low light box.
He only collects when the job is done, and never a plain contract. At Excel Roofing, they take clients and give them full contracts.
You just do tan?
Yeah.
So clients know exactly what they should.
Stephanie said it was too much. She told me to stop, but I like it.
Get you the best.
I like it.
As long as it's low dose, and it's the real stuff, not the...
No, I know it's not good for you, no matter what. No matter what you do, it's not good for you. But I just like a little color.
Right.
I think I
white like me.
I'll tell you
You're Italian.
I'm darker.
You got the olive skin.
Normal, right? But she said it looked, I don't know, she said to that man that do that look creepy. I think she's right. Now that I haven't done it for a while, I'm going to do it. I'm going to start doing it a little. Because, I don't know, I just like a little.
Actually, if you use the beds that actually give you real vitamin D, it's not.
You're right.
Not bad for you.
You're right. It's not.
As long as you don't burn.
Yeah, you're right.
If you use the stuff that just makes you brown, the other beds that don't give you the vitamin D, it just makes you brown, then it's a waste of time. It's a waste. Well, other than vanity, it's.
Yeah, you can use spray-ons.
Spray-on looks horrible.
But, no, I think they're getting better at it.
They are, but man.
There's another radio station, 850.
This Lodox.
We will help you for free.
Oh, that's good. So I have a question I thought Clint was going to ask him. They gave him the digital image. That's what they gave the people. Said, hey, you want to take it? Why doesn't they take it to another expert who reads these things and see if he can find anything?
It's just me? Oh, never mind. So I'm going to be on Medicare. I wonder how that's going to be. I've never been on Medicare.
Well, you're on Medicare, but you can buy supplemental too.
You have to, right?
You don't have to.
Well, I guess you do, I guess, because I hear it's bad if you don't.
Well, right. It just pays more unless you don't think you'll ever go to the doctor.
Well, I think you go to the doctor more as you get older, so I'm going to have to just figure out what kind of coverage to get. It's coming. I don't have to wait. I have to do it till September, but I want to start shopping and know what to do.
With affordability and what you can make as a payment every month.
Right now, this coverage I have is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, but you don't go to the doctor much.
No, I don't. I mean, I go for things like testosterone, the Bio-T, and I go for like stuff like that, wellness. I don't
Who do you go for BioT? Who do you go to?
Lone Tree Family Practice.
Are they pretty good?
Oh, I love her, Dr. Chris. I made her my primary care because I just like her, and she does blood work for me, and really knows how to read it. Doesn't get shook up about shit she shouldn't get shook up about.
Right. I do BioT.
Do you?
Yeah. My wife does it.
It's great for women. Where do you do it?
Her name's Monique, but I know the owner. She's a nurse practitioner that does it. But Dan Denai, who brought BioT to Denver and was the CEO of it, he just came out with a new program.
Well, Doctor, he's not.
The guy. It's a long story. Dan, the doctor couldn't grow it. Hired Dan to grow it. I went to high school with Dan. And hired, he's not with them anymore.
I know the guys. Okay. And Dr. D is.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Remember that. If you're looking for solar windows, listen, I don't even want to say it because the solar kind of makes it undesirable for people that don't have solar systems. They're saying, Tom, why do I want solar windows? Here's why. They are literally windows that generate electricity. But here's the benefit. They don't cost any more than any good window. So when you put them in your home and you wire it to the grid, it will pay you credits. Anyway, but they do all kinds of home improvements. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. And you get credits. So even if you don't have a solar system, it pays for itself over time. So that's GenesisTotalExteriors.com. And go on that site and contact them for any kind of home improvement. Let's keep going here. And Rory had an RV engine. And I guess this is going to take more understanding. When somebody makes a contract for you for $4,400 and they don't deliver, so what's going on? Do they agree they have to put an engine in? I mean, they don't expect you to pay for an engine.
He claims that he had it reserviced and the problem fixed.
Oh, okay.
After the second time.
Oh, wait.
Pick it up here.
So wait, after the second time, you mean after the first time it failed? The second time he says it's fixed. Okay.
And just recently I went in to pick it up.
Yes.
There's blue smoke emitting out of the emissions of the tailpipe.
Why don't you just have the engine analyzed? Why don't you just have an independent look at it?
Exactly what I want done.
Good. All right. Is it drivable?
Yes.
Will he let you take it somewhere?
I don't live there. I was there to come pick it up, and he might have somebody that can. I don't know.
I'm asking you, will he let you drive it somewhere to get it checked?
I don't know, Tom.
All right. In other words, if you go to pick it up, he wants payment in full.
Exactly.
And you don't want to pay in full unless you know the engine is good. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So you need someone. Now, I don't know how much Norris can do on his portable. You know, Norris he doesn't do repairs, by the way. He does diagnostics, and he's great. And it's SOS inspections. We also have automotive MDs. And so they can go to your location and check it out. But I don't know how much they can check out the engine. Norris is usually listening at SOS Inspections. He might want to give us a call. But I think he can get a pretty good idea as to whether that engine's good or not.
That's what I want.
All right. So
and I'll pay for it. No problem.
Well, no, and again, like I said, if you were some little old lady getting ripped off or somebody, he does a lot of complimentary stuff for us. But you're right. This would be a nominal inspection fee, and Norris is very reasonable. And then there's also, as I said, SOS Inspections. We also have automotive MDs. But Norris, if you're listening, how much can you tell about an engine? Without taking it to a shop, like on the run, like you're doing. I think he can pretty well diagnose it, at least if there's any major problems. So, Suzanne, give Rory Norris's number, and give him automotive MDs as well. Give them both. Okay, Sherry, what's going on with your leased vehicle? I'm sorry you had to wait so long. What's going on?
Yes, I'm a loyal listener. I'm so sorry that I jumped in the car and caught part of that conversation about extended warranties.
All I said was on a used car, I don't think they're a great idea. On new cars, they have some pretty good ones, and if you want to buy them, you can. Just try to shop for a price more than anything. So do you have a new or used car?
I bought it new, but it's a 3-year lease, but I'm already a year and a half into it, and 36,000 miles has passed. So that's why I collected this mail and found that they were offering me something, and I went with it.
Okay, now hold on. You bring up a really good point. They offered you a warranty after your current one was expiring. On new car warranties, that's paramount for me. I don't buy extended warranties when the car is new. I wait until they get older. Hold on, and we'll talk about it. If you can hold on, Sherry, I promise I'll come right to you and talk about it. I'm Tom Martino. Hang on.
Have you still not refinanced your mortgage? Well, soon you may be kicking yourself in the head.
So, Clint, did you tell the guy to take that digital Lodex and to someone else?
Yes.
Okay.
He can get a copy of it for free. They said he could welcome to take it to any X-ray tech he wants to.
That's like
get another opinion.
Right.
I haven't got hold of that lady yet to find out what training they got. She's out today.
But I mean, like I tell you, you take it to an expert, another expert and stuff.
But he's right. If there were no injuries.
No, but say if you found an expert that said, "Whoa, look at this thing in his head. We see this little thing in his head." Reading X-rays is an art.
Yeah.
And you can't.
I couldn't believe the stuff that thing can find. It can find on divers that had bubbles in their from
bends.
The bends. That shows on that type of X-ray.
Shows bubbles.
Yeah, it'll show those. It'll show embolisms. It'll show dehydration. It can show.
Well, how does it show dehydration?
I don't know, but they show an example of one in there that shows dehydration from
That's crazy.
Tissues being moved in too far, something. They can read it. They said it's going to be a really boom to emergency rooms. This collection agency, they have a garnishment manager who's going to call her.
Good. Excellent. A good agency has no problems quantifying what they do.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if, interest and and penalties. How can they take a 2000? What has it been? 2 years?
No, it's been quite more than that.
What?
I thought it was like was it like 2014 or
2060? It was a judgment, so can they add it to a judgment?
How old?
The case number is 13C, so it's from 2013.
So 14, 15, 16, 17. So 20% interest. I don't know. Is 100% in 5 years, right? So, well, I'm just saying, if you get a judgment, what does the government allow them to charge interest on that judgment? There's the math.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If the government allows them to charge 20%, 5 years, we're at 5 years, right? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah. She owes $4,000 on her judgment.
And that's what they're coming up with.
And that's what they're coming up with. Their numbers are right. We gave you 20%. We get 20% interest. And I don't know that that's right. I don't know.
I'm sure that they don't, because they have to file garnishments. Something that
you guys don't know. You get a judgment, and the people don't pay. Doesn't the court set what the interest rate is?
On what? Yes, on judgments, yes.
And what is that?
8.5 it was the last time I checked it.
And that seems high, but fair.
It could be less. I don't know what it is right
now.
But
it's not 20%.
They do set judgments.
How about penalties?
Is there fees?
Is there penalties?
There are fees you're allowed. Attorney, you're allowed to do fees and attorney's fees within reason. They have to approve it.
I'm just saying, if you get a $2,000 judgment.
Fees and legal fees, yes.
Yeah, I'm sure that's where it's from. Well, unless they just fell through the cracks, they kept paying us.
Yeah. Because it sounds like there's breaks in this. And why was there breaks? Did she quit working in this place or so they quit garnish?
Yeah, why did they quit garnishing her and then take over the husband? Exactly, Dan. That's a good point. She probably
she's at 8% for 5 years. She's at $3,100.
But remember, she was paying some of that though.
I know. I'm just saying.
Right.
They paid 26.
Question for you, buddy. You've done liens on people, right?
I've filed notices of intent, but I've never actually filed.
So if people come back and settled, say they owed you $5,000, you lien it, and they come back and settle for $3,000.
Yeah, I've filed notice of intent and then had the homeowner either pay me or the contractor pay me.
So I got a question because my son had a bad deal. My son did what do you call it? Cosign.
Oh God, yeah, that's Dan's pet peeve.
Oh, it's just terrible. Anyway, because he had good credit, his friend had bad. So his friend crashed the car, couldn't put insurance on it, whatever. Anyway, so I'm settling for less, but they're going to give me not a paid in full, a settled in full, which is different because that goes in your credit report, and that's always if
you always could say. My production manager has bad credit, and he's paid off. You know, he had a judgment against him that they garnished the wages and got it paid. And I said, you know what? Call up the credit bureau, you know, the collection agency. Say, I'd like to talk to a manager there. I'll give you $500 to take it off my credit.
No, that's called a what's that called?
Is that illegal?
It's supposed to. When I read on that, pay for what's that? Pay for deletion. Pay for deletion.
Is that illegal?
It's on the border of the credit.
It's unethical.
The credit companies don't like it because now you're adjusting that. It's called pay for deletion. Yes.
Would I do it? Hell yeah. Get away with it.
But even though you pay someone to do it, they might not be able to get it off. That's the thing about it. You might have to pay them $200 and they can't do anything for it. That's what I read.
Well, they're the ones that put it on that.
Who?
The collection agency.
I know, but the Experian, all those places and stuff that, or the collection agencies don't, or not the collection agency, but the.
You remember 9/11?
Yep.
9/11. That day, I had a collection agency call me that day.
Who did?
A collection agency. During while it was going down.
Wow.
Right at 2 o'clock.
Wow.
And so what happened with me is I hired a company that picked up dog poop in my backyard. $12 a week, 36, 40 bucks a month, right? And I called them up. I said, I need this done. And they're like, okay, great. So they came out and they started cleaning up my dog poop, right? And we did it for about 4 or 5 months, right? And I just paid them the $40. And then I called them up and canceled. I said, hey, I don't want you to do it anymore. And I canceled it. About 3 or 4 months go by and they send me a bill for $120. 4 months, 3 months. And they said, you owe us 3 months. And I'm like, no, I don't owe you 3 months. I canceled. And they're like, no, on the back of our invoices, it says that we have a 3-month out. And I said, I never signed one of your invoices. I never did anything. I just called you up, started the service. And they said, no, you have a 3-month cancellation. And what? You owe us money, right? And so that happened earlier, before September 11th. The day September 11th happened, the collection agency called me, and I told them to go F off. Right? They put it on my credit and hurt my credit for over $125.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. This hour brought to you by the Raleigh House Treatment for Addiction. We're consumer advocates, and this is a network that we have put together of businesses on referralist.com and also volunteers, and we also have paid staff. And we help you directly and indirectly on this show, and we entertain along the way. Don't hold it against us. We have fun. This is a great show. Please tell people about it because there is strength when you all get together and talk about the same things and you can spread the word. And we are truly spreading the word about what it takes to get justice and who should be avoided and who should be rewarded. And if you have any problems with addiction, in your family, in your circle of friends, anywhere, the Raleigh House has this informational line that they have established. You know, I want to call it a crisis line, but it's not. I want to call it an information line, but it's more. I want to call it a hotline, but it's really not. It's It's not an emergency line. It's for information. It's just to give you peace of mind. If you have any questions like how do I know there's an addiction? What do I look for? Does it get worse? How do I know how long it went on? And what should I look for? And what should I say? What should I do? How much does it cost? Does insurance cover it? Are there options? What's the term? Like 3 months, 1 month? Are there other treatment facilities available like free? Can I get a scholarship? Any questions you want. The Raleigh House, a premier addiction recovery program, their caring, loving staff will do this confidentially, privately, and free. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. And insurance does cover that in many cases. It's gripping this country. Have you seen the news reports about addiction? Have you, Buddy? Buddy Mitchell's with us with Simply Floors. We're not here to talk about addiction, but do you think they're exaggerating a little, the staggering numbers they're saying of teenagers and elderly people getting hooked on painkillers?
No.
And plus heroin. Do you know why they go to heroin? Do you know why? The number one reason? Listen to this. It's cheaper and easier to get than painkillers, because doctors if they stop prescribing you painkillers or it gets to be too expensive, you can go get heroin cheaper.
That's amazing.
It is it's crazy. I don't know what they're going to do about it.
It might be underreported, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows an addict or knows of a problem or knew an addict. Anyway, so call us. I always say this, if you ever have any problems, that's one of the things we do. We will help you, and we will write to you and email you back. live@troubleshooter.com is the initial email address. You know, Suzanne, that one party that said they had a daughter, they lost a son to addiction, they fear they're going to lose their daughter. I did call her.
You couldn't get her, huh?
No, I can't get a hold of her. So if she's listening, please call me back, please. Pat, what's going on with you, Pat? 303-713-TALK is our number. What's going on? And I did not forget about that lease vehicle on the warranty, Sherry. That's a good topic. Pat, what's going on? Okay.
Hey, Tom, it's Pat.
Yes, what's going on, sir? You're annoyed with Westminster Police. Why?
Oh, yesterday I had somebody tried to scam my mom on the phone with the traditional, my granddaughter's in trouble.
Oh, yeah. That happens. They say, hey, Grandma, you know, or they pretend they're even the person, and then or a friend of the person, and they want you to wire money. So to make a long story short, did your mom wire money?
Okay, she didn't wire it. She put $10,000 in an envelope and put it in the mail next day.
Wait a minute. $10,000 cash?
Cash.
Wait a minute. Your mom is she senile? And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, it does.
No, I understand. She has early stages of dementia.
Oh, goodness gracious! And she put $10,000 in an envelope.
Yes.
Okay. And, oh my goodness gracious! And put it. And who did she mail it to? Who did she mail it to?
She mailed it to an address here in Centennial.
But it worked out, Tom.
What happened? Tell me what happened, Pat.
Well, my wife she had a suspicion that something was up we keep an eye on her caller ID.
Yeah, like send me $10,000 in cash.
Well, it was a voice call.
Uh-huh.
We just saw a weird phone number.
Yeah.
So my wife, as soon as my mom walked in the door, my wife talked to her.
Yeah, and said, what's this number? Thank God your wife is on top of it. Then what happened?
We found out really quick. I got on the phone with the post office because there was a tracking number on there. There was nothing they could do because it was domestic. So I jumped in the truck and hauled up to the post office where luckily the postmaster was there and handed me the envelope.
Oh my goodness, wait. He handed you the envelope because it was not yet sent to the recipient, right?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, thank God. Well, what's going on then? Tell me what's happening. You opened it, and what?
I opened it, dumped it out on the table in front of them just to show them that I wasn't full of crap.
Yeah.
And they were kind of floored, but what ended up happening is I have quite a few friends in law enforcement, so they told me to call up Westminster PD because that's where the crime started since I lived there.
Yeah. They're not going to do anything.
Nothing.
Nope.
They said there's not even a crime broken.
No, there's no crime. Well, hold on. If you can prove they were lying, there's fraud.
Yeah, I understand that.
But right now, there's no one to go after. They didn't get the money. There's no one. They're kind of right. There's nothing they can do about it. They can set up a sting if they wanted to, but do you know the Centennial address? Was it a P.O. box? What was it?
It's a physical address. I looked it up on Google Maps, and it put me a pinpointer right there on the street.
All right, so I wonder who's there. I would still. Are they still? Wait, if they're still expecting the money.
Right, sting time.
Sting time.
Right? But
does hold on? You have the phone number, right?
Yeah, I do.
Well, let's do it. Let's sting them. I would say we have somebody call and pretend that they're helping out Grandma, and they're just as stupid. Clint, you could act that way, and then have you kind of talk him into letting you drop off the money. You don't feel comfortable putting it in the mail, but you'd love to drop it off. Clint, this.
Unless it's out of state, Tom.
No, she said it's in Centennial.
The phone number though is the out of state number. It's that 438 scam.
Yeah.
number.
So what do you mean 438 scam number? There's no scam.
Well, if you Google 438, just Google area code 438. The first thing that comes up in the Google search is scam.
Well, okay. See, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I want to get the number just because it's out of state. There are a lot of people that have out of state numbers. Because they have their cell phones. In fact, area codes, they shouldn't even. It's a Canadian, by the way, Canadian. And it doesn't say, the first thing did not come up scam for me. So, listen, it's a so many people, add to Google and the internet. You don't know what to believe. All I know is this: if we have a phone number, I truly want Clint to call and say, listen, my mom doesn't want to put this in the mail, whatever. Or he can pretend he's the husband, and we want to please take the money, or what? I don't know, something. Let's figure out a scenario we can bust these bastards. Let's do it. This is wrong. But I wouldn't be mad at the police. There's really not much they can do. They're not going to set up a sting. They're not going to do any of that. That would take away from their donut time. I wouldn't.
No, I understand that and all, but man, just to have that.
Well, why don't you bribe him with some Krispy Kremes?
I could do that.
Yeah. So, Pat, you got a phone number. Yeah. We have an address. I wonder if we just go to the address, and I wonder who's there. I wonder how that was going to work. Or sometimes they have something sent to an address and wait for it to be delivered and steal it. In other words, they're not even there.
That's what I would say is going to happen, Tom.
They sent. That, or I was wondering if they had like a forward on that address.
We could find that out. Why don't you find that out first? Why don't you see if there's a forward on it, and tell them why you want to know. And then also, what did they say exactly? What did they say? Did they say that the daughter was in Centennial? What did they say?
No, what they ended up saying was it was pretty cut and dry. A little girl called up crying, "Hey, Grandma, do you know who this is?" And of course, my mom drops, "Oh, it's Danielle." Yes. She knew. She thought, and that's where they took it from there. They said, "Oh, I've been in an accident, and my lawyer needs some money to get me out of this problem." And so she said, "Please send the money." And what about the address? How did she justify the address to your mom? Do you know? The lawyer said that was his office.
Wait. So it was a crying little girl, and said, "Send it to my."
He gave the phone over to
the girl.
The girl gave the phone over to a guy who said, "I'm the lawyer."
Okay. All right. You know what? I think we can have Clint talk and say, "What would you say, Clint? What? You're her brother. You're her brother, and you want to help because she doesn't feel comfortable putting it in the mail, and you'd like to drop it off to the attorney." That's what you
that'll work.
We have no problem paying in cash to the attorney. Just please can we drop it off at the office or meet you somewhere? That's what I would do. And then you act so stupid that they really believe you're just a moke, ready to have... No, seriously. I think we can do this. Hang on, Pat. Hang on. 303-713-TALK. This is fascinating. So Buddy Mitchell of Simply Floors talked about the carpet being sculpted and how durable it is, and then loop carpet, how durable it is. But what is the fabric we look for, or the yarn? If we want really durable carpet, we go with a sculpted or a loop. And would you say nylon is #1 for wear, or wool?
Oh, nylon's way better than wool.
Yeah, and isn't that funny? People think wool, natural.
Well, wool is constructed. You won't find a cut pile wool. You'll only find it, and most of them look like commercial carpets. So if you take a carpet and make it out of wool, and you make it like a commercial carpet, that's what makes it durable. It's just constructed like a commercial carpet.
So, to answer this email, we're looking for nylon.
Yeah.
I mean, nylon,
absolutely,
the best all around.
Nylon's the best fiber for durability.
All right. And then the best design for durability would be loop or sculpted.
Or, yeah, pattern.
They don't call it sculpted. They call it patterned.
Pattern, right. It's a pattern carpet.
But not a print pattern. We're talking about a pattern.
It's called a
cut pattern? Or
it's called a LCL, a loop cut loop, and it's a precision cut pattern.
Okay. Precision cut pattern or loop cut loop. See, we're learning from simplyfloorsinc.com. Speaking of learning, Plumbline Services will give free second opinions for any major repair that you're told you need. If you are told you need a panel change for electric, or you're told you need drain work for drains, you're told you need a furnace or a water heater, they'll come out free. 303-586-1086. They also have this electrical call, 149, to find and fix your electrical problem, which will include parts, or it's free. See, most of the time people don't call on electrical problems because they're afraid. They might have a hot switch or something arcs or sparks. They may even turn off the circuit, but they don't want to mess with it. They think it's going to be hours to find, and it will be sometimes. But they guarantee they'll never charge you more than $149, including parts, to fix it, or you don't pay anything. But here's the good part. Let's say it takes hours, and you find out it's a major problem, but you don't want to get it fixed because it's find, fix, or free. Then they give you a full written report and leave at no charge. So it's either find, fix, or free. 303-586-1086 plus free second opinions. 303-586-1086. That's plumblineservices.com.
This report is brought to you by Firestone Complete Auto
A couple of
Care.
spots in the high country. Good.
So we can do the follow-up. I'm going to do that again. Yeah. And I can cry on cue when I call the guy.
We don't need to cry.
To call, just kind of do it up to where they believe you.
Yeah.
And say, I just need to drop this off. She doesn't feel comfortable. Oh no, she told me she was going to put it in the mail, and I said I would gladly drop it off. So why don't you be her brother? Okay. And then we want to help our granddaughter. So Mr. Attorney, or we want to drop it off to the attorney. And so if he answers or she answers, just say, we want to drop it off to the attorney. And then let's just do it.
How soon do you want to do this?
Well, I want you to set it up, and then we can drop it off tomorrow sometime after the show.
Okay.
Why was it tracking? Did she send it registered then? She had to send it registered, or she said it was tracking.
Tracking number, yeah.
You have to ask all
No
those.
sense to do that. Wait a minute, how did she do tracking if she...
I know, that's what I'm saying.
She would have had to do that at the post office.
That's
Maybe
what
it
I'm
hasn't
saying,
left the post
something's
office yet.
really,
These guys are the best.
yeah, something's put in the mailbox. Something's,
Their name says it all. Larson Tax Relief. Relief from your tax debt problems. Larson will get you the absolutely best possible resolution. You won't have to worry about your wages being garnished or
When I worked for
losing
Jeff Co.,
Larson will
I was new there, and I wanted somebody new whose case had been seen to work a sting on West Colfax, where they were, basically they were...
You're doing the whores?
Huh?
You're doing the prostitutes?
No, we were buying stolen property.
Oh, okay.
And they wanted somebody that never, that nobody would recognize that they were buying stolen property. And on the third day, a major from the Rocky Mountain Arsenal came in to sell us a nerve gas bomb. We had to close down the whole thing because of that. He had a nerve gas bomb.
I hope he went to jail.
Oh, God, yeah. But, you know, we're buying stolen cars and stuff like that. He shows up with a nerve gas bomb in his van.
And this is an officer in the military.
Yeah, major.
Thinks that people are that stupid.
He came to our sting operation to sell us a nerve gas bomb. So is that.
There's got to be more to that one.
You can look it up. It was 19.
No, what I'm saying is
they pulled me out of there right away.
But what I'm saying, no major. I can see that being that.
Well, he represented himself as being that when he showed up. He came in, and then immediately we had two guys that went
Oh, he
back.
looked like an officer?
He was in civilian clothes.
Short hair.
Yeah.
I mean, they're, you know, officers, they got trimmed mustaches.
Yeah, he looked like he could be. But, you know, I went in the back and called somebody because I thought, you know, do we want to take a nerve gas bomb? And they called the bomb squad and everything right away. I also don't know if it was real or not, but it sure looked like it.
Frank Duran, the real estate man. You won't do better. If you're looking to sell a house, just call him, all right, please. I don't know, you may have a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend and a cousin's first wife's next door neighbor, but call Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, and you won't do better. It's that simple. He proactively markets your home, not just with a yard sign, not just on multi-list. So many people think, oh, multi-list. Just he goes outbound to people he knows and people who have contacted him to buy homes. So whether buying or selling, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Okay, so, Sherry, okay. I wanted to give us time, so I didn't want to take you on a short segment. I wanted to give us time because when you get an extended warranty, and everyone listening, you brought up a good point. When you get an extended warranty on a new car or a leased car, when you get an extended warranty, it's a bad idea because it's concurrent with the current coverage. So even though, like, you usually have a 3-year, 36,000, or you may even have a 10-year, you might have a 5-year, 60,000 miles, whatever it is, that period of coverage is concurrent with the extended coverage. It's not in addition to. And no matter how they try to dance and sidestep the issue, you're buying concurrent coverage. It's useless. So for 3 years, if you buy a 5-year extended warranty, the first 3 years, the factory's covering you and the extended warranty is covering you, and there is nothing the extended warranty will cover. So you're buying really 2 years of an extension. What you did is not buy an extended warranty, and now that your your normal warranty is up, they're going to start offering you warranties. This is a good thing if you want a warranty because it's a true extended warranty, because it's at the end of your term. And I always tell people, when you buy a car, let the normal warranty run out, and as it's running out, you will get solicited by numerous companies for extended warranties, and that is a true extended warranty. And even though it's a used car, it's your used car, and you know how it's been treated. But here's the point. If you get an extended warranty, when yours is running out, you have to make sure it's a good company. And the best companies are the manufacturers of the cars. So are you being solicited right now to get extended warranties?
Well, unfortunately, I signed on with this company called Endurance.
How did you know? What did you check them out?
Stupid me. They had said, well, if you Googled, you'd find that we'd be the first one to come up on the internet because we're the trusted source. Well, they didn't come up. So they told me I have 30 days to
cancel.
My mind, but
just cancel them.
I'm going to.
Just cancel them. How much does it cost?
$193 and change a month.
And how long of a commitment is it?
To 100,000 miles.
And how many years?
5.
Okay. 193 a month. Okay.
Yes.
And so that's, we're talking about $2,400 a year. That's an expensive warranty, a really expensive warranty. But what does it cover? I mean, if it was genuine, what does it cover?
Well, you know, they were going to send me a list of all these things. So, what?
Now, how are you paying? How are you paying it?
Credit card.
Okay, that's good. Now, here's the problem. Did you sign stuff?
No.
Okay. Then just cancel it on your credit card and just say you don't want it anymore. Your credit card might give you a hard time. You may have to change your credit card. A lot of people don't like that. I had to one time close my credit card account because the company was so tenacious. They kept coming after the new credit cards. You know, changing your number is not enough. I want to tell people, if you change your credit card number, if you say it was lost or stolen, it does not change the account. It changes the number. Someone with proof of a contract. Now, this place, Salesforce, did not have a contract. They lied about it. But when you have a contract, you can go to the credit card company, and even though the number changed, they will still start paying you out of the new number. That's why I tell you, you have to close the account if they give you a hard time. But I would first just cancel it. And
you
just
go to another bank?
No, first I would just stop payment on my credit card and don't authorize any future payments, period. Okay? Now, if the company keeps resurrecting this and your credit card company won't listen to you, then you have to close the credit card account completely and open a new one somewhere else outside of the bank. Now, the reason I say outside of the bank, this is another thing that's crazy. When you have multiple accounts in a bank, there is something called a cross-collateral agreement. Yeah. Almost no one knows about it. But if you had a dispute with a health club, a health contract, a spa, and you canceled with one account, that spa can go to the bank and raise hell, and that bank can take it out of another account of yours. The bank shouldn't get involved. What they should say is, if my person doesn't want to pay, you sue them or do something. We don't want to get involved. But instead, they get involved. So cross-collateral agreements forces you to close every single account you have with a bank and move if you can't get someone to stop debiting you. So, go ahead.
And the one thing that's good on my side is that I did not sign anything.
Mm-hmm. That is good.
But they did take a verbal over the phone.
Right. So how long is it though? If it's month to month, how long do you have to pay? 10 years?
5 years.
5 years? Okay. I thought 5 years. So
100,000 miles for the car, or,
yeah,
or
I get
5
you.
years.
I would cancel. Do you know what the terms of cancellation are? I mean, they must have read you something on the phone. I don't know how serious these guys are, but when you do go to endurance warranty, you won't find. Let's see. I'm not finding terrible things about them actually. I mean, just so you know. I mean, I'm not saying they're good. I know nothing about them.
But that's expensive.
It's way expensive. It's way expensive.
Okay.
So I don't like the fact they didn't send you anything anyway. Now there is on Rip-Off Report, although here's the thing about Rip-Off Report. Anyone can go on there and besmirch someone. It doesn't matter. So it says on this Rip-Off Report, it says endurance warranty services, blah, 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 A-rated. I don't know. It just says, I don't know. It talked about endurance pledges commitment to Rip-Off Report, corporate advocacy, business recommend. Yeah, they pay business. They pay Rip-Off Report to have this listed. So they decided. It said endurance warranty dedicated to total customer satisfaction. The thing is a PR thing on Rip-Off Report. They must have paid them a lot of money. Bottom line is, I can't find any negative reviews on them right now. I'm not saying that makes them good, but heck, that's a pretty difficult thing to do. I cannot see negative reviews on them, and I'm in like 3 or 4 pages. So if you want to warrant, now listen, I'm not saying you keep it. You need to get the terms and conditions and send them to us. I'd like to at least see what your cancellation is and all of that. Could you ask them to send you terms and conditions, and let's look at it. Unless you're adamant about canceling immediately, then just go to your credit card and cancel the transaction and don't allow any further transactions. How many accounts do you have at this bank?
2.
Okay, so just be ready if the bank doesn't cooperate with you. Some will cooperate with you. If you ask the bank, please do not allow these charges anymore, and don't ever go to another account of mine. You don't have authorization to do it.
But they did give you 30 days to get out of it, right? They said that on the phone also.
That's what they said to me, but now I'm concerned, will I ever get this first payment back?
No, of course you won't. Of course you won't.
That's minor.
You could on your credit card. I would contest it on the credit card.
Okay.
And say, I got a 30-day money-back guarantee. and I want out. Now, they're going to say, did you contact the merchant? So contact the merchant first and say you want to cancel. Okay? Record the call or take notes on the call. Tell him you want to cancel, number one. Number two, if you don't hear from them within 3 days or a credit within 3 days, go to the credit card company and say you tried to call them or email them and you got no response. Here's what's great about most of these big companies. They don't respond to credit card companies. Do you know you can virtually get any app and any piece of software free of charge? Free. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just telling you how idiotic these people are. If you go and contest a charge on your credit card and you put down a good reason, and now I'm not saying you should do this dishonestly, but you could, because this is how bad they are. They won't respond to the credit card company. You know how they don't respond to you? They won't respond to the credit card company, and the credit card company every single time will credit you if they don't get a response. So it's almost criminal. They don't respond. You know how many times I got pissed off at software or services I hired online? I don't like the software. I call them and ask them when they're going to have an update or something. They don't answer me. So I just go and cancel it. And it comes off. It's happened several times. All right, we have a lot more to talk about, and I want to bring your attention to Mark Trenner, Trenner Law. If you have an invention, a trademark, a copyright, we're talking about online ripoffs. Well, one of the biggest online ripoffs is the promise to protect your invention. You will spend money for nothing. These people not only steal your invention, if it's a good one, but they'll never give you anything for the money. They're out-and-out ripoffs. If you want to protect an invention, a trademark, a copyright, call Trenner Law. Mark Trenner, he's a sole practitioner, meaning he's in business for himself, and he will take personal care of you, and you don't have to pay for these big, giant marble offices. You just pay for the law. 720-221-3708, Trenner Law.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
That 3-day thing in the home is federal. But if they call you...
Door to door.
That's door to door? That's in home.
In-home federal law.
Okay, that's they knock on your door.
3-day right to rescind. Or, actually, it's either in your home or in a place other than the normal place of doing business. If an insurance guy or somebody meets you at a restaurant,
okay, what if they call her at home? Call her.
That would, I would argue it falls under that, but it doesn't say door to door, by the way, on the law.
But she's given a 30 days.
Well, I know, it's probably past 3 days. I was just curious how that worked.
Like I said, it's 30 days.
Would that count?
Phone contracts are held up.
You know that elderly lady that almost got the $10,000 away from her?
The what?
That almost the $10,000 almost got away from her?
Right.
There's also that elderly thing if you're over 74, that statute.
Sure, but this is, they're gonna...
I know, well, they didn't lose the money. So.
But this is a scam no matter what. I mean,
yeah.
It's the...
But if you're at home and they call you at home, then like that.
The elderly law didn't work out with my folks for
it did with my dad.
Because you guys declare him incompetent.
No, I never had to declare him incompetent.
Well, it must have been a stand-up company. But you do, what's the one out of Utah? It's like ADT. It's not ADT.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The alarm companies.
Yeah.
To learn more about the ProDesk 60 Electric, visit Veridesk.com.
Well, I just said ADT. I'll take that out of my head. You know, so. My dad had a...
Venta, or it starts with B. Venta.
Up in the high country, Highway 6 closed once again between 119 and 58 for block scaling work until later on this afternoon. Also watch out for lane restrictions along I-70 westbound near Idaho Springs.
My dad had a $1,200 air conditioner. You know, window air conditioner, came out and put it in. They charged his credit card $12,000. And it was obviously the dot was, you know, was wrong because it was exactly the amount times whatever. And but then they tried to stand on it and say, no, that's what he agreed to. Well, we went to the credit card company and they took it off. Then they put it back on because the place said no. So anyway, we ended up taking the air conditioner out, taking it down to him, getting a receipt for it. And that way we said we got nothing for the money. We got out of it, but God, they were trying to It's called Cornerstone Mechanical.
And not listen to when applying for a mortgage. Do you always get someone new when checking your loan status? Take
He's 90, and that's what scared him so much was that elderly
My
thing.
dad was over 80.
Serving Colorado since 2001, where
They said we said it over. We got him recorded on over the phone, and they didn't want to switch banks.
Loans designed to fit your needs, not the banks. For the purchase or refinance.
All these new alarm systems now that are all Bluetooth, wireless.
And see how hundreds of our clients are saving thousands in
What do you mean?
excess interest.
Well, I was in Lowe's yesterday, and I saw in a cart all of their Cat 5 wire. There's almost nothing left on the shelf. Nobody puts it in anymore.
From start to finish.
God, if you think of that.
Because everything's wired, you know.
Who would want to put wire in? Speaker systems or alarms?
Whether or not they have
Even the 35, well,
capital available, is that the
Real Estate Academy is now giving away their Fortunes and Flipping kit for free.
God, years ago I worked for these
flexibility
I worked for an electrician, and we had to do a bunch of wire in a governor's mansion.
really
Without tearing things up. We ran it under baseboards and all sorts of stuff too. But what a pain in the ass, none of that alarm stuff now. Oh, they have any wire.
really what is
How many speakers were wired? Surround sound speakers were wired.
Is this
like a extra cash? Call 1-800-989-3394 now to get your free kit. Call 800.
Is this like a way to the future? Because you guys were one of the first, but aren't there a ton of businesses getting into this? Even American Express. Is this like a
Plus a national government auction list of properties for sale.
thing into this? Even American
well, we think there's tremendous opportunity to really improve how lending is done for small
Would you suggest hardwood anymore?
I love hardwood.
Is this
I
like
think
a
hardwood
way
would
to
be
the
great.
future?
I think hardwood is
Is
a
this
great
like a
floor.
Is
It's
this
not,
like a
it's
way
not
to,
as,
is this like
it's
a
easier to scratch, but
We
we
do pre-finish, right?
do
anything.
pre-finish, we don't do sand and finish.
Yeah.
It's like a way to
That pre-finished
Is this
stuff
like a
is
way
so
to-
good and stuff. That's when
It's
you
like
make
a way. It's like a.
pre-finished like that.
Sand and finish is
It's like
easily fixable.
like a.
Fixable, but what I'm saying is you don't get as good a finish on top of it, I think, as the pre-finish. So, yeah.
No, you don't. But,
And the warranty's not there.
no,
A way to.
but I love wood.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK. We have plenty of time to take calls. Just get your calls in at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Marie, what's going on with you, Marie? How can we help you?
Hey, Tom.
Hi.
I need someone from your referral list to replace my foundation on my home.
Okay. Now, here's the deal about foundation contractors. Many concrete people do concrete. They do cement. They do, flat work, but they don't do foundations. Foundations is specialized. And here's the thing you'll find about foundation contractors. They don't advertise because they are usually hired by contractors, specifically general contractors. I mean, how many people call and say, hello, could you come over and put a foundation down for me? I mean, there are people who do additions. There are people who do a garage and they need a foundation. But what I'm saying is, consequently, we don't have specifically foundation contractors on our referral list because there's not a big consumer market for it. That doesn't mean we can't help you. We can find people that regularly do, home improvements and ask, who is a good foundation contractor, and they would know. Genesis Total Exteriors would know. And we have AAA home improvements, right? Don't we still have, of course, and we have other home improvement companies, and they would have recommendations.
Well, you got the Executive Structural Piering.
Yeah, now they do.
The Springs. Did she tell you that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But constructional piering, the executive piering, they do the shoring up of foundations and the correction of sinking and all of that. But I don't think they do foundations, but they'd probably know. If anybody would know good foundation people, they would, because they don't have to go in and fix their screwed up work. You know what? That might be a good place to start. You know what? Suzanne's going to do some research for you and find someone, because in the Springs we do have, of course, our referral list, and we'd be happy to help you. What do you have to replace exactly?
All 4 walls.
But I mean, your whole house, you're replacing your foundation?
Yep.
But why?
They're bowing to the inside.
But who told you they need to be replaced? Did you have an engineering report? Because this executive peering that Deputy Dan just talked about, that's what they do. They repair foundations. So what I'm saying is, why not repair your foundation? Who says it has to be replaced?
My structural engineer.
Well, okay, that's a good one. If you have an actual structural engineer. But is he aware of the repair techniques? Because they have to jack up your house to do this, right? You know that.
Yep.
It's a major job, major. How did this happen? Over a period of time?
Well, my house was built in 1903.
Okay, I see. Wow. That may be...
Well, that's probably bricks then.
What is the foundation made of? Do you know?
Well, that's just it. I don't think the foundation, at least the basement, was put in 1903. I think it was put in later. And, you know, regional building didn't kick in until, I think, the 60s.
You mean the codes. So, basically, we have to find someone. You're right, it does need to be replaced. I mean, this is a major job. Did your engineer tell you about how much this could cost?
I'm getting bids from all over the place.
What are your bids right now?
Well, I got a low bid of $44,000.
No, be very afraid of that one.
Well, yeah, because I come to find out from regional building, he doesn't have a license, so he is not able to pull the permit.
What was your? Tell me your other bids.
Oh gosh, the next one up was 76, and then it went clear on up over 100,000.
Okay, I would say it's going to cost. My guess would have been 85,000 to 150.
Wow.
Yep. Are you prepared for this? How are you going to pay for it? I'm not trying to get nosy. I'm just trying to help you out.
Well, I do have a home equity line of credit in place.
Okay.
But it's nowhere near 85,000.
Yeah, you're going to need this. This is a major deal, dear. You may want to get a second opinion. Now, this structural engineer, did he mention anything about repairs, or does he feel it's just too far gone?
He feels it's too far gone.
And he probably is right. I mean, I'm not going to try, but with something this big, don't you think maybe a second opinion might help?
You mean as far as another engineer?
Yeah, or maybe one of these places that repair foundations. What they do is here's what they do. They do peering down to bedrock, and then they pour what's called a sister wall. But a sister wall may not work if your original wall isn't even good enough to be attached to it. So it's hard for me, without having any background, to say. But I think one of these companies that do this would be good to check with. There was a place I used to have, Advanced, who was this, on our referral list. I don't know if they're still around, but God, the guy was a really good end. They were really good. Advanced Structural Repair, I think. I think the name, and I even remember the guy's name, Chris, I think, Bortz, Chris.
I'll look him up, Tom.
Look up in our archives.
Yeah.
And if Chris is listening. Do we still have a Coyle on?
We sure do, Tom.
Coyle. He knows.
He'll know someone?
He'll know people for sure.
Okay, I'll call him.
Man, he is, it's Jim, right? Jim Coyle?
I think so,
or
yeah.
Tom, yeah. Coyle's a great engineer. And I would just like to bounce some stuff off of Marie. One thing I want to tell you for sure. Please call us before making any major decisions, no matter who you go with, because I don't want you to get ripped, okay? I really want to help you, unless you have people that are pretty knowledgeable that can help you.
Yeah, that's what I'm calling you today.
And we'll even if we don't come up with a contractor, we can help screen your contractors for you. I mean, that's what we do. When I say we directly help people, I really mean it. So you keep Suzanne. Let's give her an email and a phone, and I want to help her screen a contractor if she finds one, and to look at the bid to make sure it's not a fairy tale. And we have a great Martino special at Pro Auto Care today only. Today only. Now, normally we have it where you can call and schedule for the future. Is that it? Can they schedule, or do they have to have it done today?
No, they can schedule.
Oh,
call now. You
good.
never fail. Somebody's going to call Friday and go, "Hey, I'm calling about that Martino."
So you have to call today, but you don't have to have it done today, and you're only going to do it for the first 5 callers.
That's right, Tom, because of the fact that this is something that most shops charge about $59 to $60 to do, and that is to check the alignment on the vehicle. I cannot tell you that these tires are just getting so expensive on these cars, and they come in all the time with the wear edge that's on the wear out.
No, they don't understand, Al. We're not talking about walking around and kicking the tires. You're going to put it on the alignment rack, and you're going to do measurements, and people, if it's off, it's going to be simple adjustments they can do while you're there. Now, they're never going to lie to you about it. If it's in line, they're going to tell you. Right, Al?
We're going to print it for you and show you it. That's
right, exactly, and it's free for 5 callers at each location, so that's a total of 10. One location is near Evans and I-25. You just go east and north on Dahlia, a block. The other one is south of Bowles on Santa Fe, right at West Church and Santa Fe across from Arapahoe Community College. 303 Pro Auto's the number right now. 10 callers total, 5 for each location. You pick the location, or maybe Al will tell you what's open. 303 Pro Auto, a free alignment check with a printed report.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center. This report is brought to you by...
Is this like a wave of the future? Is this like a wave of the future? Dan?
Yep.
We just had a major foundational problem at my sister's house. Is this like a wave of the willing future? to put up with losing part of the basement, but they put beams in just inside the foundation.
This pier, well, look at what this pier can do. It does. This guy does.
Is this like, yeah, they were $16,000. They repaired it. We lost a useful basement for ever, finishing it, but we didn't care.
I'll bet you they go down the springs.
Oh yeah, they'll go down for that.
I mean, they do piering, they do...
Her foundation was done after the fact. The cement was just crumbling. Yeah.
I mean, this is external stuff where they're putting anchors.
That's going to be for a sister wall, like Thomas talked about. Or just even not a full wall.
I mean, look at it. I mean, here they got brick. A lot of those old things got brick.
Is that the way the future? See the beam in there? That's exactly what they did. They put a beam just inside that, and we lost
no, they might be able to do this and then 4 walls. We
didn't have to do that. They just put structural beams inside, some posts, and in one place, one wall, they did a complete block wall.
Dude, I could use
Yeah, I thought we've been told by everybody to replace it.
Is this the wave of the future?
And you don't know what back then, if they had little knee walls, how big this wall is.
Ours was made out of stuff, just cement that had no cement in it. You could just take your finger and just crumble it.
So here, a lot of these old ones is bricks.
Yeah.
The foundation is
rumble stone. On an old church we tried to buy.
Oh, that could be too.
We just stacked block. But we were told that they could fix even that.
I'm going to call them and see if they go down to the springs.
Is this the wave of the future?
I'll bet they do.
Is this the wave of the future?
I mean, these are big jobs and stuff. These are.
Oh yeah, they'll go down for that.
It's financial security you'd like.
Oh well, I shouldn't say for them.
Here, the guy's going to charge $44,000. He's not licensed.
Maybe he's going to do something like that, though.
He's not licensed and stuff.
Is this the wave of the future? The equity in your home. They also protect your spouse from possible because
you have to pull
red flag.
I wonder why she even brought in an engineer. It just started blowing out or started falling.
Because it was blowing in.
You guys were one of the first.
I had a brand new house that happened on
businesses getting into
started
this,
blowing
even
in. They
American
came in with
Express.
jacks. And I had to go down there once a week and turn the turnbuckle a quarter turn.
This is the wave of the future
Next
because
pushed it back out. We had too much water on the north side of the house.
Water's the worst.
I know.
You don't realize how much
wave
pressure
of the
water
future. You
causes.
guys were one of the first, but aren't there a ton of businesses getting wave of the future? You guys.
So even then, it's how they solve the water. They put in a French drain or something?
No, we got the downspouts farther away from the house.
Is that all it was?
That's all it was to get rid of the water.
the future. You guys were
on the farm and stuff. We used to have water every spring and everything. They didn't have any gutters.
Yeah. Denver's Talk Station, 6:30. But aren't there a ton of businesses getting into this? Even Tom Martino here at 303-713 Talk. Buddy Mitchell's with us, by the way. When he's not here, you can reach him at simplyfloorsinc.com. Make your own appointments. And we have a follow-up on carpeting that's really important. This woman said she had carpeting put in, and it was outgassing to such a degree that she was allergic to it, and it really hurt her, and it was poisonous to her. She really exaggerated on that. She even said her cat lost its voice and no longer could meow. It just went meow. And so we thought there was a problem. First of all, you have a cat walking around going meow, meow, and you have a woman saying she's dying from this. Also, she said it was extremely dirty. Now, are we going to poo-hoo all of her complaints? Right now, buddy, she did have complaints, but the carpet's a fine carpet, right?
Yeah.
The carpet itself.
It looked like a good carpet.
And it wasn't doing excessive outgassing.
I didn't smell anything.
Okay, and the carpet in general, the only problem, and it was a big problem, they butchered, you said.
The install was
terrible.
Butchered, yeah.
Terrible.
There were some things there that I just shook my head at. I couldn't believe a company would do, but it sounded like...
Based on your evaluation, do you know what happened, Deputy Clint?
Well, I can say if we had not had people from our referral list look at this, we would not have had the outcome we had on this.
What did we have?
Home Depot's making a full refund.
Goodness gracious. That is wonderful. I hope you can take care of her, buddy.
Yeah.
And what was the price like? No, I don't, like I said, I don't judge prices a lot. I really don't. But I'm just curious. What was the price? Did you beat it?
We haven't been back out there.
Oh.
She called us yesterday.
You don't know what she paid for it?
I didn't look.
Oh.
I wasn't really. I just.
Do you know what she paid for it, Clint? I'm just curious for that size of job, what the price was like going to Home Depot.
I would guess it was around $3,000 or $4,000.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
I don't think we have it on that contract, do we, Clint? But she's getting a full refund, so that's good. All right, 303-713-8255. Okay, Lori, what's happening with you, Lori?
Oh, hi.
Hi, Lori.
Nice to speak to you.
Thank you, Lori. How can I help you?
I just had a quick question. My husband and I are in the market of buying a car this year.
Yeah.
And, you know, the news about President Trump, how he...
The tariffs?
Well, we're thinking of the tariffs
right.
and all that. And
now, did they actually do the tariffs yet? Or is he still mulling it over?
No,
Deputy Dan, are they actually invoked yet?
Yeah, they're invoked, but they already took out Mexico and Canada, which are
most of the cars.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, in my decision-making process, do you think it would be wise to purchase the car like real soon, as opposed to waiting until the end of the year?
Here's what I think. I think the deals you'll get toward the end of the year will trump. No pun intended, will trump any kind of impact from the tariff.
Okay.
Because the impact from the tariff will not be that much per unit, because they will kill themselves if they do. And without giving political opinion on the tariffs themselves, I don't like the idea that people can import here, and when we export to them, we pay big fees. I don't like it. But we've always said we're better than them anyway, and we do free enterprise, and we make people compete. The problem is American steelworkers, you know, are trying to compete with kids working for pennies on the dollar. So I don't know. It's a very complicated argument on that side of it. So with just talking about the impact, let's just talk about that and leave, you know, like I said, I leave opinions and political stuff to the politicos. Right now, the consumer impact will not be as great as people say. It's not going to be nothing. People will, manufacturers will reflect some of that on consumers. But when you look at the massive industry of cars, the per unit price is not going to be that much, unless the manufacturers take advantage of it and raise the price on purpose and blame the tariff. Many times you have blaming price increases,
but not true ones. I don't think it's going to matter. You're going to get a great deal because the car industry is buzzing right now. They're not hurting. You also have the year-end deals. What are you looking for specifically?
We're looking at the 2018 Honda Accord
okay.
right now.
The 2018 Honda Accord, and if you go toward the end of the year, if they have any leftovers, a lot of times they don't. What were you going to say, Clinton?
It's an American car.
Well, in what way?
It's made in Ohio.
Oh, the Honda, are all of them made here in the U.S.? But
I think pretty much, not all, everything, but a big majority are.
I know a lot of the Japanese makers have opened up places here. So, in any case, I would wait. If I were in your shoes, I would wait. Bob, you have a question for Buddy Mitchell at Simply Floors. What is it, Bob?
I haven't bought carpet in 25 years, and I was just wondering, for 200 square feet, what can I expect to pay for good quality? And does he come down to the springs at all?
200 square feet is going to cost you between $800 and $1,000 for really good quality, and we don't go to the springs, but...
do you have any referrals? Do you know anyone down there?
Yeah, there's a company down there called Carpet Planet that does a really good job. They're part of our buying group. It's Carpet Planet.
Great. Okay, now, hey, thank you so much.
Sure, thank you. And who do we have on for? Let's see. Are they ready? Oh, no, they're not ready. Never mind. Steve, what's going on with you, Steve?
Hello, Tom.
What's happening?
Let me take you off my headset real quick.
Yeah. What's going on? Listen, we're running out of time. That's the closing music. So, Steve, we can get you an answer because Mark will, it's about trading, and he can pretty much help you there. Deputy Dan might be able to help you, too. So just leave your information or we can bring you up tomorrow. Buddy Mitchell, thank you very much for being here. Can they call you, too? 303, if you want to call? 303-456-4660. 303-456-4660.
Looking for ways to save on your Medicare Part D copays? Great news.
I don't know if you want me to. Should I rotate them through? No.
I don't care. I think the website's better. That terrible. I just heard the other day that
it's easier to remember if you're driving.
And a lot of people are driving when they listen. It's only going to be like 90% of the cars are not going to be affected.
Probably not.
Because there's so few that are actually imported anymore.
Yeah. I don't even know what they're doing on a cost, weight of steel.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. That sure bailed me out. You going out looking at her thing because, you know, she's talking about outgassing the cat and everything. We started thinking
I think she is a little nuts, but she also had a bad
she also, she had a bad
Oh, yeah, when you're looking at that made everything.
I've got a 8 o'clock appointment and I got to get to.